since I'll be playing John Ash for today since he's not here, I will give the recap because it's been quite a couple of weeks, and I know you guys take very good notes, but they're not as good as my notes because I made the game. So, recapping from last session, the party is in the Anarok Desert. Your mission in the Anarok Desert, just to remind you, is to retrieve one of 3 sentient weapons held by the evil mage Caraptus. And you have some idea that these weapons are located in a dungeon called White Plume Mountain because that is the title of the book that the Historiophage has activated. However, in your search for the White Plume Mountain, you've come across a snag. You initially thought that it'd be very easy because there was a scam going on, Enter White Plume Mountain kind of scam, where a mage named Alim was running adventurers through his fake dungeon to make money off of them. You guys exposed that. After exposing that, the purple worm was called upon the great magical discharge that occurred once you had exposed the lie, and the green flame was snuffed out. The purple worm has laid waste, complete waste to that fake dungeon. In the process, you guys were able to pick up the body of the person who actually went in and snuffed out that green flame and activated the purple worm. You deduced after doing that this person is a member of the caravan, the little caravan desert nomadic people called the Shaitani. You guys were able to find a map which led you to the camp of the Shaitani. When you went to the camp, you spoke to the leader of the camp, a person by the name of Tariq. He is not only the leader of the camp, he's the father of the man whose body you recovered from that ordeal with the fake dungeon. He was so stricken with grief that he said he is willing to break with the demands and traditions of his own people and speak secret knowledge to the outsiders, telling you where you can find what you're looking for, this dungeon that you're looking for, the secret lair of Caraptus. But he requests that you retrieve a very powerful item called the Rod of Resurrection so that his son may live again. This also goes against the laws of his own people because you are delving into Netherese powers that these people, their entire charge was to protect the power of the Netherese and make sure it stays hidden forever. But he is broken with his charge due to his grief and sent you on a quest all the way to a hidden oasis. At the oasis, you were able to find and defeat the spirit who has become Fae, the ancient Netherese spirit that was protecting the Rod of Resurrection. However, in order to obtain the Rod of Resurrection, you had to rip it out of a powerful altar that was sealing the magic of the Netheril. You don't know what that has done, but you know it's probably not good. But he did mention that there were many of these seals. This is not one of several seals. And in removing the Rod of Resurrection from that altar, you have permanently broken the rod. The rod will work. However, the rod cannot be recharged at this point. It is broken beyond any sort of repairing. And the rod is beginning to leak. You estimate with the amount of magic that's being leaked out of the rod, in 5 days, the rod will no longer be able to cast Resurrection. So, as you can see from the map, X is your location. That little caravan is where you need to get to, and you have 5 days to do it. Now, you make choices based, as you recall, you make choices based on traveling in the desert. You choose how many little hexes you want to travel per day. Because you have camels, that is +1 to your travel speed, which is a good thing. So, you make a choice. You can travel at a regular pace, which is 2 + 1 hexes, which is 3 hexes. Or you can travel at a fast pace. That is anywhere from 4 to 6 hexes. However, if you travel at a fast pace, you are going to get guaranteed levels of exhaustion, +1, +2, +3, respectively.
Okay.
If you travel at a regular pace, you get to use Gray's survival checks to avoid getting exhaustion. You look around you and you are in the bare desert at this point. The entire illusion, the Mirage Arcane, has caved in on itself, and the link to the ethereal plane that you had entered to get the rod has been severed. So at this point, there's nothing. You are standing down. There's no oasis, nothing. You're just standing out there in the desert, exactly how you were before you found the place.
Mm-hmm. We have 20 squares to travel in 5 days. So we have to do at least
1, 2, 3,
four a day.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm counting 19. It depends on the path you take, actually. If you want to plot out your course, you can actually you can mark this thing, or you can actually move the X. It's token locked, however.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just trying to discuss with my troop that we have 5 days to move about 20 hexes, which means we have to do at least 4 a day, the minimum. So we're gonna get exhaustion regardless.
Yeah, the only other way to do it would be to do a few days of 3 and then do 5, but either way.
It's too bad I don't have any magic in my spell book that could help. So
no, unfortunately, there's not much magic that you possess that you can.
No, not at level 7.
Yeah, maybe if you were very high level wizards can create portals and things like that.
Yeah, if I was like level 17 or higher, I'd be able to do some sort of craziness with that. Like
that's why if you were level 17, I wouldn't put you through this kind of scenario. I would understand that
because I'd be able to cast teleport or just create a teleportation circle before we leave the camp, and then
yeah. This is a reflection of the level that you guys are currently at, just like the encounters.
But still, even if we do 4 days,
how about if we do 4, 3, 4, 3, 5? That's 19, right? And then if we do the 3s in between, we got a chance of getting rid of some of the exhaustion, possibly.
Yeah, that would be good, because if we start with 4 squares and then do 3, that might work. That way.
I have to warn you, I do have to
do less square hexes. We can take long rests to remove those.
One thing about traveling here in the Anarok, because of it's a spell waste, there's not only the residual magic of the fall of the Netheril Empire, but the spell plague also has racked the Anarok. As you can recall, exhaustion does not recharge unless you are in a safe location, such as a camp. So exhaustion will just stack out here. And if we follow the rules for exhaustion, there's only so much you can there's only 6 levels of exhaustion that you can take before you die. Also, if your exhaustion, I believe, goes above 2, you can only move 1 hex. Now, there is some randomness to this travel, because when you roll a survival check, there are a lot of possibilities. It's possible that you roll a survival check and you bomb it and you get more exhaustion than you bargained for. It's possible that you roll a survival check and you get no exhaustion. It's also possible that you roll a survival check and you crit it, a nat 20, and you get an oasis. And I will drop an oasis token right there.
Okay.
Oasis, of course, gets rid of all exhaustion. If you roll a 17 to 19, that is -2 to exhaustion. It doesn't have to be a natural 17 or 19. The oasis, however, has to be a nat 20. That's a 5% chance. All right, so what I want you to do is plan your first day's journey. Show me where you want to move the X.
I'm trying to point it out right now, I think.
One problem is you see that mountain? You can't move through the mountain unless you want to take a big hit to your
I thought we were
speed.
going around it. But
If you can go around it. You can go here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here. That's a lot of hexes.
yes, it is.
But we can bypass all the mountains.
One thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eight. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You have a mountain range right there. Watch out
And
for it.
oh shoot. Dang it.
So is that I feel I can see. Is that a riverbed? Right between those two raised areas?
That's not a riverbed actually. That is just a depressed area. There's no water source out here.
Well, I'm not thinking about water. I'm thinking about, can we cut through there?
You certainly may.
I'm just thinking-
This is the map that you have, and the map kind of points out there's a big shallow area over there.
Yeah, right there. And it's really hard for me to see the hexes, but you know, if we Olaf or somebody, if you can see the hexes a little better, if we cut through that gully or whatever it is, that should cut out quite a few hexes.
Dang it. I closed the map completely.
You closed it?
I closed the map on me.
Well, just
Yes.
double click on your little.
There we go.
That should bring it back.
There we go.
Oh no, we're not on there, are we?
No, but
That little depression used to be a body of water. However, it has not. It is ever since the spell plague and the second sundering is dried up. It used to be called the Shadow Sea.
Well, I was just thinking about actually using it as a shortcut.
The Shadow Sea. Well, I don't know. I guess one of you may know this. The Shadow Sea had a connection during 4th edition in the spell plague. It had a connection to the Shadow Fell, which is like a dark plane.
Mm-hmm.
During the spell plague, all the planes collapsed. The elemental planes and ethereal plane, astral plane collapsed upon itself, and they turned into 3 planes: the Feywild, the Shadowfell, and the material plane. But then Wizards of the Coast said, no, people don't like our game, so they brought everything back
hey,
with the second sundering.
if I'm looking at the map correctly, I assume we can kind of go through that valley between the mountains.
Yes, on top of that, there's an oasis right here. So if you land on that oasis, you can spend... This is something you found previously.
Yeah.
And if you land on that oasis, you can rest there and recharge all of your exhaustion.
The unfortunate. Oh,
Whoops. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was me.
the
My bad.
unfortunate thing is, if we did a path of 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, that is how, unfortunately, we have to spend our last day getting there. It takes us 5 days to get there. So.
Well, if figure out the oasis. To end up on the oasis, is there a way to do that? Start out with 3. How far away is the oasis? Like I said, I can't see the hexes very well because I'm colorblind. So I could depend on you, Olaf, or Gregory.
Let me try making the hexes more prominent.
I can see the ones that are on a lighter. Yeah, it's probably just a GIF or something, isn't it? A JPEG or something. Oh, wait a minute. Something's happening.
Let me make the hexes white. Is that better?
That's a little better.
What? Is it better if I make the hexes a color that's not like the map, or that you can't distinguish that? Is it's the shade that's important, or the color?
It's more shade thing. But the white was really actually not bad.
There you go.
That's
How about
probably
this?
about the best.
Yeah.
So that unfortunately is our stops, and unfortunately our last stop, another 4-day travel to get to the caravan, is gonna be that's gonna be our 5th day of getting there. If we did 4, 3, 4, 3, 4.
Well, if we made it to that, of course, how much exhaustion will we have by then, John, if we made it to that less mark that he made?
Well, exhaustion, there's a little bit of variability exhaustion, depends on how well you roll. However, assuming that you continuously roll an exhaustion of no change, that's rolling anywhere from 7 to 15, which is the majority of the numbers. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 hexes on day 1. 4 hexes on day 1 will give you 1 level of exhaustion. 1, 2, 3. 3 hexes gives you no exhaustion. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 levels exhaustion. 1, 2, 3. That gives you no exhaustion. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you did these, you get 3 levels of exhaustion, assuming that you went there rolling completely flat, hitting the exact average.
But the unfortunate thing is we get a little exhaustion too. On the 4th day, we can only move 1, and we won't be able to make it.
Oh, if we have any exhaustion, we're only allowed to move 1?
If you have 2 levels of exhaustion higher, because the way mechanically it works is 2 levels exhaustion actually reduces your character's speed.
Yeah, I believe it halves your move speed if you take 2 levels of exhaustion.
Now, if you get lucky in any of these rolls and you roll a nat 20, you recharge all of your exhaustion that day. Gray does have a +5 to his survival, so a +5 keeps you out of the red zone. Assuming you keep assuming you keep that +5, assuming nothing happens to drop that bonus.
Oh, so if you roll a nat 1, you die.
No, you don't die. You don't die from a nat 1. If you roll a nat 1, it's still a +5, so you get a 6.
Okay, which...
Assuming he can keep that +5. If something happens, hint, if something happens that drops his bonus,
like a level of exhaustion. Well, it wouldn't drop the bonus, but 1 level of exhaustion would give him disadvantage on his survival checks.
Yes, and hunger and thirst will give you can also give you subtractions. However, you guys have a whole bunch of supplies on that pack camel, so you're not worried about hunger and thirst right now.
So 17 through 19 gives us takes off 2 exhaustions.
17 to 19. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's not a natural roll. That's any 17th or 19th. Only a natural 20 will give you Oasis.
I think we just go for it, guys, and see what happens. We either save the kid or we don't.
We either get there on time for him to resurrect his son, or we don't make it.
He'll hopefully appreciate the effort. And who knows, maybe when we are passing through the Oasis, they may have moved their little family to the Oasis.
So we're going we're doing the 4-3, 4-3, and then the rest of the way to the camp.
Yep, that's the only way I think we can make it.
Okay. Are you ready for their first day of travel?
I guess.
Sure.
Seems like we've been here for weeks, guys.
The first day of travel should bring you over here. That is a 4 on the travel, so you get +1 level of exhaustion. I would like you to roll that survival table.
That's the D20, right?
Yeah.
You want it in the tower, or?
You can click on a table.
Okay, use your inspiration.
You certainly may use your inspiration.
Oh, yeah. Hang on a minute. I closed the table.
Oh, you know what? Then go ahead and just roll it.
Ooh.
All right. You just rolled a flat D20, but with the advantage, that's an 18. 18 will bring you up to the 17 to 20 level, which will give you a -2 to exhaustion. So even though you gained a level of exhaustion from traveling fast, your survival roll has eliminated a point of exhaustion. So you start with 0 exhaustion again. Which
Okay.
is great news.
Yeah, I accidentally grabbed 2 D20 and throwed them instead of doing advantage.
That's the good news. The bad news is having broken the seal, one of the really all-important seals. You notice that it's getting a lot windier than it was before. You think there's a sandstorm picking up.
Oh, great.
The next day of travel, you get a -1 to your survival roll. So it's no longer +5, now it's +4.
If you run into anything on the way here. Alright,
Okay.
to the next day.
Next day.
Let me cast.
Next day, I believe your plan is to move.
3.
Okay, so we want to see a survival roll. Now you're at a +4 instead of +5.
Well, can you put the table back up?
And I'll put a +4 to reflect the change.
And I just had to roll. There we go.
Ooh.
Whoa!
You roll a natural 20. You are so skilled that on this day, you bring out your little forks, tuning forks, to read ley lines and stuff, and you find yourself an oasis on this spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy.
You're
I
doing-
didn't even use my advantage on that one.
No, that was a stroke of pure luck. You guys take a long rest in the oasis. The soothing waters of the oasis is so refreshing.
You guys hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now-
Fancy Grounds booted me out for some reason.
Huh.
Like, did you get an error message?
It booted me out, and I did get an error message. Yes. When I dropped guidance on top of Gray.
I hope it's not some problem with the scripting,
I hope not either.
because that would make me very angry just because of the amount of stuff that's been going on with Fantasy Ground updates. They still haven't fixed the update that broke the character sheet tweaks, so those extensions are all off.
Oh.
And you know what? Maybe I'll just leave them off because it's not worth it. It's not worth having the extension on and then worrying about every single update breaking something.
Anyway, I can do theater of mind until we get there.
Yeah, I didn't get not I didn't need it, but I didn't get the guidance.
Okay.
Or at least it didn't show up on the roll.
It wouldn't have mattered in that particular.
No, it wouldn't have mattered in that one.
Yeah, that was a nat 20.
Yep. Okay. Well, we still want to.
However, you spend the night in this refreshing oasis. You know, plenty of food and drink for all You get a nice, comfortable, and you realize that whenever there's water, oases in Anorak, you realize that this springing of new life absorbed a lot of the chaos energy, and you're able to recover your exhaustion whenever you come to an oasis.
I feel refreshed.
And you feel great coming out of there.
Let's stick with the same plan, guys, I guess.
Well, you got only a couple. You got, let's see, 1, 2.
Like 3 days left.
Yeah, you got 3 days.
Yep.
And so far, you guys are doing great.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. However, when you wake up the next day, you realize that the sandstorm has really, really picked up. This very unnatural sandstorm. It's very difficult to see. Your survival bonus goes down another 1 to +3.
Yeah, I'll definitely need guidance next time, Olaf. That sandstorm's really messing up my senses. So this is a 4 then, right?
Yes, this is a 4.
I don't see any reason to change the plan, do you guys?
No.
Thank you.
No, you can probably even, if you wanted to, you can even go faster. So when you come around this area over here, this is the former Sea of Shadows, the Shadow Sea. Now it's no longer, it's now a dry basin. As you walk across this area, roll me that survival check.
Okay, I am going to take advantage. I really don't know how to do. We'll hit an advantage. Do that even if I use the table.
Yes.
Advantage. And then roll. Well, I only rolled 1. Let me roll a second one. It's even worse.
That was even worse. That is a 7.
Yeah.
Luckily, 7 is the minimum that you need to affect no change in your exhaustion.
Man.
So, you lucked out in that you have no change in your exhaustion. However, as you are walking through the previous Shadow Sea, not realizing the danger of the choice you made in walking through this particular area, you look around, and there's something flying overhead. It appears to be circling you, and it's extremely hard to make out because the sandstorm is just pelting you. But there's a creature that is circling you as you're walking.
I'm gonna say.
Have we taken our rest yet? And then we turned in for the night?
You guys are full in terms of long rest at this point. You haven't taken your rest at this yet. This is towards the end. You realize that for the last 6 or 7 hours as you were traveling, something has been following you up above.
Because I have Mordenkainen's private sanctum. Might be able to... I have it prepared. I've got Mordenkainen's private sanctum prepared. I can... Like, when we turn in, I can just cast that and...
So, John Ashford gets off the camel. You guys have 2 each on the camel, and then your pack camel behind you. He's looking up, and he says, "Whatever that is, it's getting closer." And you guys realize that there's some blob in the air that just whooshes by. It seems to be in sync with the sandstorm. Like it knows exactly how fast to move to make itself invisible inside the sandstorm. But you guys can clearly see there's something there. And it's circling you like a vulture. John Ashford looks around and says, "I don't think this place is safe."
Don't think what's safe?
Where we are is safe. and we probably don't have time to set up.
I was gonna say, I have Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum. 10 minutes of in-game time, I can cast it. And...
I'm not sure. I mean, you think it'll go away? Just go away, or we'll be facing the same because we're fully rested.
If it would just go away, it would have gone away hours ago.
That's kind of what I think.
Is this what we're seeing in the morning before we set out, or when we were
He
about
said
to
we
head
had-
into the night?
You guys haven't decided to actually set up camp and rest yet. You guys
Okay.
are just, it's getting towards the end of the evening. So you may certainly set up camp now and take a rest if you want.
Actually, we might need that rest after if we get into a battle here.
Which, just on the map, are we on the last night of like the night before our last day of travel, or is this?
You're on the X, where the X is
Okay.
represented.
Okay.
This is so, like I said, this is towards the end of the day. It's already sort of getting towards sunset. Shadows are getting kind of long. The sky is getting a little dusky.
So in actuality, guys, we could take, if we get through this encounter, we could go faster and go to the Oasis, because that's only 5 steps away, and then go from the that is if we get past this encounter.
Yeah.
I was,
So what would you like to do?
I was even gonna suggest, like, see if we could bypass this encounter altogether, and I could cast Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum, and
I think it already knows we're here, but
You can certainly do that. If you cast Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum, it will keep you safely rest. But that doesn't guarantee once you come out of the sanctum what you're going to be dealing with.
right.
You have any idea what that is, Gregory?
Actually, does Gregory have any idea what that is?
Gregory can roll a perception,
Okay.
but there's sand in his eyes. He's rolling with disadvantage.
All right. Disadvantage perception.
All of his eyes.
No, just Gregory.
Well,
Gregory
okay.
takes.
In all of Gregory's web.
He probably doesn't have that cloak.
Gregory, you can't.
Walk around in the daytime.
Gregory can't wear the robe of eyes in the daytime because they don't blind in the sunlight.
All right. So I roll a perception check with the disadvantage.
Yes.
All right. And I don't know. Did it only show one die?
Yeah.
Why? I thought I.
You were because your robe of eyes was giving you advantage. That's why. You have that effect on.
Okay. I mean,
You don't have to erase the effect. You can actually toggle it on and off through the combat.
Yeah.
tracker.
That's
As
pretty
long as you're the
that's
one-
pretty
you're the-
convenient.
Exactly. That's people don't know about that, but as long as you're the person who put that effect on, you can toggle it on and off.
So if I find the combat tracker.
That's also very helpful with John's Cloak of Displacement because he can toggle it off for one turn. Which is
How do I
exactly how it
toggle?
works.
How do I toggle it off?
Right
You
to
see
the left of it. Just
to the
click
left
on
of it, it says on, visible, all. Yeah, there's skip or there's off. Skip means you skip the rest of the turn. Off means you target off completely.
All right. Well, I don't have anything next to it that would tell me anything unless it's only during like.
Well, maybe the effect. Maybe it puts effect on automatically, but it still should show up in the
Gregory,
combat tracker. You would think.
if you choose the effects, in the combat tracker, all the way to the right of your name where the little dude looks like, if you click on that, then it'll drop down and show all your effects, and then you can click on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then-
There it is. All
Okay.
right. So if I turn it off. So it's active. How do I just click it and nothing happens?
Really? Did you apply this effect to yourself, or was it I who applied it to you?
I think you might have applied it to me.
Well, mine
That's
works. Oh, okay.
If I applied it to your character at some point in the past, then it's not going to work. If you are the one who put it on your character, that's the only way it can work. That's all right. Just roll it again. Just roll it again.
All right, so I rolled. I guess I'll roll it again, and whatever the lower one is.
Yeah, I'm not sure it could get worse than that, but just roll it again.
What did I roll? Well, I don't know.
You didn't roll so great, but it may be even worse.
No,
That rolled 2.
he probably still had his disadvantage on. Maybe.
Hold on. So among the 2, he probably had that advantage still on. See, you see what I can do is you see how I toggle it on and off.
Yeah. I'm trying to be
So
able to
you should be able to do that, but I think it's because I'm the one who put this effect on your character.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, Gregory, you can't make out what exactly that thing is. You take a close look. Unfortunately, the problem is that it is very skilled, and this creature appears to be flying in sync with the curves of the sand eddies, and is intentionally evading you.
Do you have an idea like about how far it is?
It's pretty close. It's somewhere in the realm of like 200 feet or so.
Can I hit it with fairy fire?
It's out of your range.
Okay.
Well, how far is your fairy fire?
Well, that's a good question.
Only an Eldritch Blast can hit something like that.
Range.
And it's not just a regular L. You have to have the super long Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
60 feet is the fairy fire. 60 feet.
Oh. I think there's not much we can do unless this thing comes down to us. Either we do your private sanctum, or
Well, here are your options. One is that one option is that you go into your Mordenkainen and Sanctum and take the rest. Obviously, you'll be safe in there, but you don't know what's going to happen once you come out of the Sanctum. Another option is that you just wait here until the creature comes down to you. Another option is you can try to travel through the night, which is guaranteed exhaustion.
yeah.
Just to get away from this creature.
My opinion is now that we just go ahead and rest, because if it's just following us right now, we don't know what it's going to do. But at least in the morning, we can at least take off and start traveling, and then if it's going to attack us, it'll attack us. At least we'll be prepared that way. If that made any sense. Because we can't attack it or anything if it's so far away, and I don't really want to travel through the night.
Yep. I think that sounds like a plan. What I'll do is I'll set up an alarm bell above us in case it tries to come down on us while we're resting. And maybe we take
The
ships.
problem is the Mordenkainen Sanctum will bring you into a different plane.
Okay.
Well, it makes.
Do we want to do that, or
Cure.
I also have Liam and Teddy's hut. If you want to actually be able to see what we can do.
Sensors created by divination spells can't appear inside the protected area or pass through the barrier at its perimeter.
Well, I can choose any of the properties. Like sound can't pass through. I can choose that. I can say that it's dark and foggy, preventing vision, including dark vision through it. Sensors created by divination spells can't appear inside the protected area or pass through the barrier. Creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells. Nothing can teleport into or out of the warded area. Plan of travel is blocked. When casting the spell on the same spot every day for a year makes this effect permanent. Interesting.
Wow.
Why don't you drop? You can drop the private sanctum onto the map. Let's see. Just lay out the area.
Well, either that or I set up a Lehman tiny hut. Unfortunately, camels won't be safe. But we would.
Trying to see, why is it giving me a dice button?
You don't see the token? I see the token. 100-foot diameter. I think it's going to be bigger than the map
I
itself.
don't see. Yeah, I don't see the thing on the map. Oh, there it is.
This thing is huge.
Oh yeah, this will be much nicer than the Lehman's tiny hut.
Yeah, but did you say you couldn't get the camels into the hut because it's tiny? Yeah,
We can get the camels into the private sanctum. I know that much.
So you can get the camels in here. They'll kind of hang out over here, I guess, while you guys rest.
And I'll have it set up in a way that, because I can choose one of the effects. I'm gonna say that it'll be a sanctum that, like, because of the nature of the sandstorm, I'll have it like a foggy kind of thing, preventing anything from the outside to see in it, including creatures with dark vision.
While you're doing that, I will still set up a bubble of tiny hut in case we need to dodge and weave. Yeah, we're not easily protected around here, so I'll do that.
So a Lehman's tiny hut inside of a morning trainer's private sanctum.
Yeah, why not?
I think that might go into the rules of like a bag of holding inside a bag of holding rules.
Or putting a bag of holding in a bag of holding.
Yeah, there's rules against that. I think.
Fine, I'll just put it right on the outside because we can leave private sanctum, right?
Oh my goodness.
Right? Can we leave the sanctum or no?
I think you could, but
What do you want to put the tiny hut out there for?
well, he's trying to cover his bases with extra protection.
Yeah.
I guess if you merge it, you get a little like balcony. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm not sure what it would do really.
It gives us cover. Like if we need to, like.
You mean when we run out of the sanctum, we run into the hut? How long does the hut last?
The hut lasts for 8 hours.
Well, how long does the sanctum last?
The sanctum lasts 24 hours.
So by the time we take a long rest, that's 8 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to be gone by the time we get up.
It doesn't matter because his spell slot recharges anyway.
Yeah, it's just a ritual. It's not costing me.
I think I still burn a 4th level spell slot to cast Morning Kind's Private Sanctum, but but 4 hours of resting.
Well, your spell slot recharges after a long rest, so it doesn't matter if you use the spell slot to cast it because you take a long rest immediately afterwards to recharge your spell slots. So it's a net loss of nothing.
All right.
Yep, that's true.
I'm just reading the spell Private Sanctum.
Maybe you need to practice.
It doesn't give us any real protection, right?
It's technically considered an abjuration spell, but I guess it could be, well...
Like I said, the creature can still enter the sanctum.
Make an area within range magically secure, 100-foot cube.
Magically secure, so I'm assuming that means something can't get in from the outside unless the caster wants it to.
Well, no creatures can teleport in unless if you set that.
If he's choosing that, yeah. But he's choosing the barrier will be warded areas appear dark and foggy, preventing vision through it. So they just can't see what we're doing, but they can still enter. My understanding.
Well, that don't seem like worth a 4th level spell slot.
Yeah.
To me, that's all it does.
It looks very... I don't know. It looks like there's things about it that are open to Portugal. Oh, higher. When you cast it using a higher level, you can increase... Oh, you can increase the size of the cube if you upcast it. That's cool.
Well, it's big enough. There's no doubt.
So, you choose which protection this cube affords, and if you choose the one where nothing from the outside can see into it, The barrier of the warded area appears dark and foggy, preventing vision through it. So nothing from outside the cube can look into your cube. However, that doesn't really prevent the creature from walking into the cube.
Correct.
That's what he meant.
Yeah.
So
that's all that does then?
Well,
Yeah.
he chooses one of the several effects that the cube can have. Well, some of these effects are you don't allow planar travel, or
Sound can't pass through the barrier at the edge. Sensors created by divination spells can't appear inside the protected area or pass through the barrier. Creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells. Nothing can teleport into or out of the warded area. Planar travel is blocked within the warded area.
So it's kind of more of a magic protection from magical stuff rather than anything else, right?
Yes. So because it doesn't duplicate what Lehman's tiny hut is, you can probably put the tiny hut inside.
Lehman's tiny hut inside of the Mordenkaim's private sanctum.
And you can sleep inside the tiny hut.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
And I was thinking about the dark fog part because it's like, all right, we're in a sandstorm, so maybe the creature, depending on what kind of creature it is, will just think, oh, it's just a sand flurry or whatever. Depending on how intelligent the creature is, which that we don't know.
Yeah, let's just put the tiny hut down. Obviously, it can get in and get to the camels, but if it so desires.
You can't. I don't think you can fit the camels inside the tiny hut.
We can fit in the hut, but they're in the private sanctum, and other creatures from outside of it can't see what's in it. So
here is the question: if we're saying the barrier of the warded area is dark and foggy, preventing vision through it, does that mean we can't see through it also? That would be a DM ruling.
Actually, yeah, how would that work? I guess I'll leave that up to John to decide on that. Because it does seem ambiguous. If it's some parts of it are open.
Traditionally, this is made up as like a one-way mirror kind of thing.
Okay.
That would make sense.
Yeah, traditionally that's how these kinds of spells are played. So there's no reason why it wouldn't be like that.
So once a creature is inside the thing, it can see us.
Exactly. It's like a one-way mirror.
Okay.
All right, so you guys are going to spend the night inside the little tiny hut inside the sanctum.
So
what's the rules of going in and out of the hut? I don't remember.
We can enter and exit the tiny hut. Whoever I designate can enter and exit the hut. Private radius, 9 creatures can fit inside a medium size. Is a camel a medium sized creature?
It's a large.
The spell ends if you leave its area, so you have to stay in there for the spell to keep going. A 10-foot removable dome of force springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary for the duration. The spell ends if you leave its area. So the caster, you, have to stay inside the hut to keep it going.
I'll keep it going.
All right, so do we have shifts for resting tonight? Because
yeah, I think it might be a good idea.
Might not be a bad idea.
now, Gray, you don't. Do you? Yeah, you're only a half elf. I forgot.
Yeah, so I don't get the trance.
You have to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to take first shift?
I'll take first shift.
Okay, anybody for a second shift? John Ashford offers to do a second shift.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Yep. I'll take the last shift.
Oh, I usually just do 2 shifts.
Okay.
Yeah, just for simplicity. So you guys set up to take a long rest. The first shift begins, and the rest of you are sleeping. And while you're sleeping, Gray, you notice there's some movement inside this hurricane sanctum. Some creature has moved into it. It's pretty big. You see, there's a creature, and you get from what you can see, the sandstorm's obscuring a lot of it, but the creature is still on the very edge of it, like in this area. So you can see that the creature is kind of testing the barrier. You see a set of claws reach in through the barrier. It's testing the magic of the barrier. Once it realizes that this is not stopping it from coming in, you see some sort of creature step through it. You get a perception with disadvantage to see how much of this creature can make out.
Okay. Oh, I got hit. Disadvantage. Hang on. Advantage. All right.
Did you had a guidance on?
Maybe I didn't turn it off.
Oh, that's right. Ignore.
It actually don't show up on my combat tracker though. Guidance doesn't, unless it went off.
Well, at this point, once it goes off, it gets erased because it's a one-time kind of.
Oh,
thing.
I see.
Gray, it's a dragon.
Oh crap! And that's what I say. Oh crap!
It's most definitely a dragon. You guys as a party, you've encountered a dragon.
Yeah.
Back in the first adventure.
Yep.
That little wormling that your group was actually able to befriend. The second adventure also had a dragon that you guys just skipped on, and so did the other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this thing is definitely in the silhouette of a creature with wings and 4 limbs and a long snout, and you deduce that this is a dragon, although you can't make out its perfect details. The creature is moving around the perimeter of the sanctum.
But does it? I'm just keeping an eye on it and trying to figure out what it's trying to do. Can I tell what type of dragon it is?
You don't know what type of dragon it is unless it gets a little bit closer.
Okay.
Actually, inside the sanctum, I don't think... Are the winds still blowing? Yeah, they are. The sanctum doesn't block the winds from blowing, so the sand is still entering the sanctum, so you can't really tell unless you get closer.
Well, I would probably go over and wake up Gregory and quietly bring him over and show him, see if he can see it and see if he can figure out what it is. He could use his robe eyes now too, couldn't he? Since it's night.
Yes,
if it's nighttime, then yeah, I'll wear the robe of eyes and then I'll follow Gray to wherever he's pointing out.
So everybody, I guess everybody wakes up at this point. You wake each other up.
Yeah.
Knowing that this creature, this horrible creature, is getting real close. Gregory, you using your robe of eyes, I won't make you. You don't have to roll for it. But you look at this dragon, and you're having a lot of trouble identifying what kind of dragon it is. Although it has black scales, it does not resemble a black chromatic dragon. Rather, there appears to be glowing blue ooze kind of leaking out of it. Like, the glowing blue stuff looks like it's magical. There's something very wrong with this dragon. You can roll an Arcana check.
Yes, I would like to roll an Arcana check to what is going on with this dragon. Alright, let's see.
You think that the dragon is is spell plagued.
Oh,
Even though the spell plague has ended, it looks like something that is spell plagued.
well,
That means it follows 4th edition rules.
this dragon was probably around, might have been around during the time of the spell plague. It's possible because these dragons, they're not.
You know that during the spell plague, the Anorok Desert actually became viable. It was a heavily magically blasted area. That there was a huge sea, the Sea of Fallen Stars, that encroached on it, and the place that you are standing right now used to be the Shadow Sea. The Shadow Sea was a connection between two planes, the material plane and the shadow plane. Various forms of foul, dark, magically wasted, blasted creatures had been around here during the spell plague, which wasn't that long ago. It's like maybe spell plague was like about less than 100 years ago.
Well, I guess
Even though most of the creatures that were spell plagued should have died by now, by the second sundering, when the earth motes fell and reformed the land. It is said that those creatures all died. So to see this creature over here right now is very strange.
Huh.
You don't know what kind of dragon this is. It probably does not resemble the types of dragons that you typically know anymore. It may have once been a black dragon.
And I just tell Gray, yeah, this dragon does not look right. It looks like it's been spell plagued, which is odd because most of the creatures that were spell plagued by the time of the second sundering, they've died off. So this dragon, if that's what it is or was, must have survived that, which is interesting. Not surprising because dragons have way longer lifespans than other creatures, but
The creature begins stalking around the sanctum, around the periphery of the sanctum, cautiously moving about, feeling with its snout, sniffing about.
I wonder if
Or on the edge or inside the sanctum.
It is inside the sanctum. That's why.
Okay.
And it's getting closer and closer, and as it gets closer, you actually see it, and it looks horrible. It looks like a cross between a zombie and a dragon and some sort of creature that is glowing with dark chaos magic. It is very large, and it just kind of sniffing around, looking.
I tell the group, guys, one thing, we have to keep the camels safe, otherwise we're not making it.
Yes. Also,
and two, if we're going to attack it, either I drop the dome or you have to leave the dome to go. But I will have to stay in if you want to keep the dome.
okay, I have an idea. We don't know what effects whatever happened to this dragon, the spell plague or whatever, has on it. Maybe it's still intelligent. Maybe it can be reasoned with. Worst case scenario is we'll end up having to fight it anyways. That's worst case scenario. But if it still has any of its draconic intelligence left, because who knows how old this dragon is? Dragons, this dragon could be thousands of years old, probably.
By the size of it, you think that it is somewhere between young and adult. Like it's no baby dragon.
Okay,
but it's not as big as like Tiamat.
Yeah, but she's like a colossal.
She's beyond gargantuan. So, judging by the size of it, it's very difficult to tell between an adult dragon and an ancient dragon, but you judge that it's not quite a full-grown adult mature dragon, but it's not a young dragon either. It's somewhere in between. Still making it incredibly dangerous.
It's probably a few hundred years old.
You want to try to communicate with it?
Yeah, that's what I want to try to do. See if we can communicate with it. And
maybe if we offer to help it in some way, then maybe.
Figure out what it's
if it's still
about.
intelligent, if it's still intelligent,
if it
maybe.
still has any intelligence left in it, and if it's. And
John Ashburn says we should fight it head on.
Well,
that's what I want to do.
Go back to sleep, John.
well, what we can do is we can try to reason with it. Worst case scenario, we'll have to fight it anyways.
Right.
Yep.
That's my thinking.
I'd say whoever is gonna try to reason with it,
then maybe we can avoid fighting altogether. And who knows? Maybe the best case scenario is we may end up having an ally. Maybe it can help us get back to the that camp place to bring back the Rod of Resurrection. Maybe it might even be able to help us.
Oh, whoever
you kind of look at it, and the chances of it being ally, you're not so sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't hope for that. The best we could hope for is maybe to let it, or that it lets us go by.
So you guys are contemplating what to do as the dragon walks right up to the hut. It puts one of its paws up to the hut and puts it against the hut, and you can see it's sort of like the plasma ball. You can see the magical swirls go around its paws as it kind of looks at the hut. It looks at all of you up and down, and then it just moves on to your camels.
And then this is where Gregory will speak to the dragon. I'll say in Draconic, "Can we help you?"
The dragon turns to you and gives a grunt. And you can see that it does speak, and it does understand your Draconic, and it replies to you in Draconic, but you can tell that something's wrong with its intelligence level. It says, "Hungry will eat." And you can see it's drooling, looking at your camel.
Let's see.
I don't speak Draconic though.
If you don't intervene, you think it's
we're gonna have to intervene, guys.
It's gonna eat your camel.
We can't let it eat the camel. But it's just hungry, looking for food though. So can we come to some sort of a compromise? Well, we're not gonna let it eat the camel, obviously, but maybe we can.
While you're contemplating this, he kills one of the camels. With one bite, he just bites the camel's head off. The other two start running in fear. And camel number one is no more. The dragon begins feasting on the camel's guts, eating voraciously as it just completely begins consuming the camel. It goes in. It doesn't even spit out the bones. You can see it's just completely wafting it down, swallowing parts of it whole, big chunks of meat. Looks like the dragon hasn't eaten in quite some time. He just satiates himself.
Hey guys,
what do you guys want to do?
It's go time, guys.
All right, I'm just gonna ask the dragon. Okay, have you had your fill now?
The dragon looks at you, and then he looks at the other camels, and he continues to say, "Hungry will eat." But he hasn't finished with camel number one, so he just keeps. And you see the dragon is he's got like the camel's entire head. He just crunches it in his mouth and just swallows it whole.
Well, I want to try. I have the ring of animal influence, so I want to try and cast the ring of animal friendship and see if I can convince the dragon that
on a dragon. I'm not going to waste your time. It's not going to work on a dragon.
Well, you said his intelligence was down, but I.
Yeah, but it's got to be an animal. This creature is.
Oh, it's not magical. Okay. All right.
This creature's not an animal.
Okay. Well, I guess.
I think the moment that the camel was eaten, John Ashford would have just would have ran and tried to attack it, to be honest.
Or we could just go grab the other camels and take off and see if it attacks us
Yeah,
first.
this thing is going to be faster than we would be even on camelback.
All right, you are not gonna be able to run away from this dragon because it has trailed you for hours and hours to even get you. So as John Ashford, I hate to act for him, but he's gonna be the one.
Yeah, he's going to be the first one to attack.
So,
Remember, you guys got to leave the bubble, or I drop the bubble.
let's roll initiative.
Yep.
Should have listened to Olaf and John the whole time, shouldn't we have?
We just lost one of our camels. All because I was being...
You're too inquisitive, Gregory.
Yes.
Too inquisitive.
Well, it's
You
not
still
every
have
day.
you still have 2 camels. You're good.
Yeah, we just have to share
Double up.
I will cast Revivify.
Oh, actually, well,
That won't work.
I
It is not.
it wouldn't work on the camel, but because the dragon rips it apart. But
There's hardly any camel left by this time.
yeah, well, you may if we salvage like one part of the dragon, maybe a resurrection would work. But other than that, you need like true
We're not
resurrection.
using the rod of
Hey,
resurrection on that
you remember
camel.
you have a rod of resurrection. If you want to resurrect the camel, I'll let you do it.
No.
That would work, but how many charges does the thing have?
1.
One.
Oh, then we gotta save it for the Elder's Con because
Gray, you are
Why
first in
run?
initiative. Right now, you are unnoticed by the dragon, who is greedily munching on the remains of the camel. So you attack as if unseen on your first turn.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you that.
Can I move? Or is this-
Yes. Once you move out of the hut, remember the protection of the hut is gone, and it's just you and.
I can shoot from within the hut?
You have to leave.
Yeah, you're not. If you shoot within the hut, the arrow's gonna bounce off the hut.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but
No, that would make the spell way too good. That'd be like being in a fortified turret or something.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be fair.
okay.
That would be bad game design if they allowed that.
Okay, then I'm going to move kind of over here, I guess. Hey, I just lost my, oh, there I am. How'd I get clear over there?
You only have X amount of feet of movement.
Yeah, well, that's about as far as I can move right there, so I'll just go right there and,
Because you are first strike on this dragon, who's busy eating. You get advantage, as if coming out of stealth.
okay. I want to try, Ricochet. Is there anything to ricochet off here?
Absolutely, there's like cactuses and stuff, and you can ricochet off the hut itself.
Okay, then I want to, try, for now, one ricochet. And is that a wisdom?
That's one wisdom save. If you look at your actions
Yeah.
tab, yeah, you get that one wisdom. You get the wisdom save with ricochet.
And
Just roll that.
Oh, there it is, ricochet bow. Is it auto? Oh, I have to roll the save myself, don't I? There's not an automatic. Okay.
Actually, I do. There is automatic. If you expand the entire thing,
uh-huh.
then you'll see that there's 3 saves that you can roll: Wisdom DC 10, DC 12, DC 15. So the first save is a DC 10, which should be pretty easy, but still you can screw it if you really bomb it. So
Did it roll?
no, what you did is you applied the attack bonus to yourself, but you didn't roll it yet.
Well, what? I still have to. How do I roll it then? Oh, okay. I see it now.
You see it now,
My
right?
bad. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, there you go.
Did it roll that time?
You didn't roll. You didn't click the right thing.
I clicked where it said cast on Wisdom DC.
Oh,
10.
not the cast. Go to the part where it says save.
Oh, okay.
There's another square with a dice on it. Click that thing.
I did at that time, still didn't work. Well, there it went. There it went.
Oh, what I think you got to do is you got to target yourself to do it. There we go. It is a successful save. Did you have advantage on your wisdom save for some reason?
Not that I know of.
Well, it was a double 9, so it would have been the same thing. So you successfully ricochet an arrow shot off the Lehman's tiny hut to try to get this dragon right in the mouth.
So now
you've already applied the damage bonus.
I know, but I gotta do the attack, right?
Yes, you got to do the attack and apply any other bonus that you want to do. Remember, you got a lot of stuff. You got sneak attack, which applies that in this case. Remember, it applies in this case because you're attacking as if from stealth.
Okay.
You got sneak attack if you want to put like Hunter's Mark and all that other good juicy stuff, and the swarm, all that stuff that you have.
And it's been so long, I'm trying to find.
I know.
now.
But as you recall, I can tell you what you got. You got sneak attack. You got the option of Hunter's Mark. You got the option of making that sharpshooter shot. Those are your options.
Sneak attack. Okay, I did the sharpshooter. I just added the sneak attack. I might as well apply Hunter's Mark. There's no reason not to as a bonus action. That one goes on self. That one, the effect goes on the animal.
So first you roll the attack, because that'll apply the the sharpshooter effect. Because your sharpshooter is a -5. So if you do sharpshooter, you have a bigger chance of missing, a bigger reward.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do sharpshooter. I'm just going to do regular.
Oh, okay.
Ricochet.
So just first roll an attack on it then.
But I get a bonus for the attack too because of the.
The attack
ricochet.
is at advantage. It's at you don't get a you get a bonus for the attack, and the attack is at advantage.
So do I already? I'm sorry, I'm taking so long. But do I already have the effect of the
Yes,
bonus
you
on
do.
the attack? Okay.
Yes, when you put the effect on, it does both of those things.
So I just need to do a regular attack right now.
Yeah, I rolled all the scripts for the ricochet bow. They should be working. 22 to hit. You do hit this dragon right in the mouth.
Okay. Now, did I get the Hunter's Mark? Yeah, I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the damage. The sneak attack bonus, I got it turned on, so it should work.
It did work. 15 points of beautiful damage, piercing.
Now, did it add my Hunter's Mark damage?
It did not.
Yeah, it's probably the 4, right?
No, the 4 is just your attack bonus. It did not add Hunter's Mark damage.
I'll just roll a 6 then.
Because your sneak attack, it actually, you know what it I think it didn't do is I don't think it added the. Oh yes, it did.
Did it add the bonus for the ricochet?
Yes. So you see those 2 d6s? One is for the ricochet. One is for the
sneak attack.
Hunter's Mark.
Oh, so it didn't do the sneak attack?
Yeah, so it didn't do the sneak attack. So roll a 2d6 for sneak attack.
Oh, why didn't it do that? I had it turned on. Well, anyway.
You had it turned on, but you didn't have the damage put on, I think.
Okay. Well, anyway. Did that show up?
It's lagging. Either it's lagging or you didn't. Yeah.
There you go.
That wasn't
3
much,
points of damage. Nah, not much.
Okay. So anyway.
There we go. 18 points of damage, which is not bad at all on one attack. Remember, you have a second attack.
Oh, that's right.
That was still the first one.
So I can do that as a now. How much?
Your second attack, you can't have
2 ricochets. So this should be
Like-
just a regular attack then.
You can still do a ricochet. Remember, you have 3 ricochets
Per day?
Yeah, you can still attempt a second ricochet. A second big ricochet.
I think I might hold and do it the next time too, and just do a regular attack.
That is a hit.
Okay. I should have Hunter's Mark on.
Hunter's Mark.
It didn't. What am I doing wrong on Hunter's Mark this time? I got it on me, and it says it's on him. So I got him back.
Hunter's Mark is working because you rolled a D8 and you rolled another D6.
Oh, I didn't see it come up. Well, did it do damage?
Yes, 23 points of damage.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
I will
And don't
also-
forget, you have a swarm.
Right, that's what I was going to say next. All right, you guys don't fall asleep. I'll be done with my attack in a minute.
My taxes is not doing it.
Trying to find my swarm on my list here.
Easier. The problem is you already rolled the damage, so the swarm is one of those effects that tag on with the damage that you roll.
I'll
So
just
what
roll
the-
6.
Yeah, it's the
D6.
easiest way. Just roll a 6, and I'll just drag. That
Okay,
out.
here we go.
That is 46 points of damage in your first turn. There we
Okay.
go.
Okay, guys, now wake up. Oh, I got to end
Not
my
bad,
turn.
not bad at all. Okay, that is your turn. The camel goes, and the camel is going to run. He runs out of the sanctum, way into the sandstorm somewhere.
And he's probably going to get eaten by whatever other predators may be lurking about. Not that anything could be worse than that dragon, but...
No, this dragon is pretty bad. Gregory, it's your turn.
Okay. You know what I'm going to... I have an idea in my head.
You just gotta remember, you gotta leave the bubble to do anything.
Well, he doesn't necessarily have to do offensive. He can be doing buffing spells or something. Depends.
I've got an even better idea. Is this dragon big enough that the 4 of us can fit on him?
Yeah, probably. But he's not going to willingly allow you to climb, obviously.
We want to ride on him with all that goo oozing out of him.
I'm gonna ask the dragon in Draconic. Do you have a name?
We just attacked him. I don't think he's going to be willing to talk to us.
He angrily belts out, searing pain. Pain, you horrible. I will eat you.
Well, I can't blame him.
Well, Greg just shot him with a ricochet arrow.
Yeah.
I can't.
So the big arrow's sticking out of his mouth as he's saying this.
Shouldn't have messed with our camels.
No, you realize that this dragon is not. He's not behaving like a regular dragon. He's not that he's intelligent, but there's something really wrong with him. The spell plague has apparently driven him insane.
Well, maybe it might be a better idea to just put him out of his misery then.
I think you're onto something there.
Well, Do I still have my action or no?
Yeah.
You haven't taken your turn at all.
You just start talking to
I
him.
just asked
Talking
the
is
dragon-
free. Talking is
All right,
always free.
I asked the dragon what his name was in Draconic, and he didn't really answer. He just...
With the exception of like a vicious mockery, talking's always free.
All right, well, what's my passive insight? My passive insight is an 11. So a passive insight of 11 would say that it may be better to put this dragon out of its misery than to try to reason with it.
Your insight is telling you that this dragon is pretty hostile to you. He looks like he's he's very bestial, and he's hungry, and he just wants to eat, and he looks at you as food as well.
Okay, well, it doesn't seem like he can be reasoned with, and he looks like obviously there's something wrong with him, like he's... Wait, did he say Scion?
He didn't say Scion. That's just the name in the combat tracker. You don't
Right.
know that.
In game, I don't know that. All right, so yeah.
No, your Arcana check wasn't high enough to find out what he is.
It may be
You didn't read. You skipped that passage about the Great Dragon Limroth and his scions. So you really don't know.
Yeah, it might be better to just put him out of his misery.
You're reading the book on Fitzban's Treasury of Dragons, and you're like, yes, so many damn stupid dragons. I'm bored of these dragons. I'm gonna read about bugbears instead, and you skip that chapter. Because that's what I did. I opened Fitzban's Treasury of Dragons and like, it's too many dragons. When am I gonna need this many dragons? Like, I barely have one dragon per campaign.
That, although Gregory knows.
But this your new friend here, he's not from Fitzban's.
Yeah, we need to get rid of him pretty quick as possible before he can eat another one of our camels.
Well, yeah, you gotta take your turn quickly.
Alright, so 5, 10, 15, 20.
I assume you get out in a way that he can't opportunity attack you, right? Because he's got a pretty long reach.
I was gonna say, how long would his reach be?
You think his reach would probably be 10 feet, so...
Okay, so if I go over here, that wouldn't provoke an opportunity attack, would it?
No.
Okay, good. Alright, so what I do is I go over there, and... let's see what I can do here.
Go straight from the bubble. No, like, where are you going?
Ooh!
You can hop in and out of the bubble. You don't have to run away. He can't attack you inside the bubble.
I don't have that one prepared, but I do have Shatter prepared. I think I'll cast Shatter. But I don't know why the tokens aren't appearing in the character sheet. Oh, they are. Never mind. Hopefully they're the right size. Oh, they're not the right size. Oh well. But I'll target.
If the token's not the right size, sometimes... Let me see. Because I know that's been a problem back and forth, depending on how the thing is updated.
I was gonna say, how do I adjust the size?
The token in my screen, it's the right size. I don't understand why you don't have.
Oh, there it is. That's it. That's what I was looking for, right here. So it's place the shadow.
There's nothing else that you can get in the way.
I'll just put it here, and then I guess I'll go ahead and roll the Constitution saving throw for the dragon.
He succeeds. He's a dragon.
He's probably got legendary resistances and stuff like that too.
Well, that's the legendary resistance. It's a little bit of metagaming to talk about legendary resistance. However, at your level, not likely.
Alright, so he took half of that damage. And what level spell is that? A second level slot? Yeah. So I burn a second level spell slot. Actually, we haven't taken the long rest yet, have we?
No, you haven't completed the long rest. So
this all happened during the first watch.
Yeah, so you had that burn fourth level slot from the
and I burn a second level spell slot. And I'm gonna end my turn.
Okay. Olaf, it's your turn.
Olaf is gonna pull out his spoon, cast a lele on it, and then pass his turn. If I leave the bubble's gonna drop, and then we'll have no cover whatsoever. So that's what Olaf is gonna do.
John says, "We must rally and attack it together." Yes. He runs out of the bubble. He points at the dragon and whispers his vow of enmity, which he needs to do more often. Never seen him do it.
What is it?
A vow of enmity. It gives him advantage against. He declares this dragon his mortal enemy.
Oh, sweet.
As a vengeance paladin, that's one of your big features. He declares a vow of enmity. He takes out his greatsword. Does he have his greatsword effects on? No, he doesn't. Let me put them on.
Get it, John! Attaboy, John! So basically, all of you ain't gonna be able to help with the battle.
I know, but if you guys start to get in trouble, you move into the bubble. If you're in trouble,
Smashes down with his vow of enmity, and he crits.
Oh, nice! John, you're good.
He is going to pump out a divine smite, a level 2 divine smite.
Ooh.
In addition to his massive amount of damage that he can do with his Icebrand greatsword.
Oh, look at all them dice.
35 points of damage on the dragon.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, whichever god I worship, because I'm not really sure right now. I think he worships Tamora, but he said he worshipped this other god. But I swear to you, you will die this day." And he squeezes it out, and he attacks again. Oh, with a hit. Ooh, this dragon's looking mighty injured from John's assault. Now it's the dragon's turn. This dragon, the fallen scion of Limbrith. You don't really know the dragon's name yet. The dragon roars, and you can see this this blue fire begin growing in his mouth. It is going to shoot. It's going to shoot his energy breath. This dragon shoots a linear energy breath.
Oh, I was afraid to do that. Both me and John Ashford are in range of his breath weapon yet.
He shoots out his horrific force weapon. He is a force dragon.
Counterspell.
No counterspell.
Well, no, it's not a spell, it's a breath weapon.
Exactly. No, it was a joke. Okay, we have 2 failures. Are you ready?
Yep.
Do you have any reactions or anything that you want to do before this goes off?
Well, this was an AOE save, so there's not much I can do about that right now. And it's not a spell; it's a breath weapon. So no.
Shield?
Well, it's not an attack. It's
it's not an attack.
It's an AOE breath weapon.
All right. Are you ready for the damage?
Sure.
11d8 force.
Okay, bring it.
He brought it.
43 points of damage.
Oh my goodness.
A searing flash of pain flies right through John, through his entire body, right through your body. And the dragon roars in triumph. You're not dead yet, I don't think.
I'm not dead yet. I have 1 HP. I'm still the 1 HP.
Camel runs for its life.
It's probably the smartest thing that you can do at this point.
Your camel number 1, unfortunately, is deceased. We're back at Gray. Now you see what this dragon can do. This is it's a warped chaos dragon that breathes force energy, pure chaos magic.
Okay.
Could have befriended it, but oh well.
I don't know about that, but
it looks sick from the spell plague or whatever. I was like,
it is very sick.
Might have been better to just put it out of its misery at this point.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's interested in putting you out of your misery.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to try a ricochet again.
Better be big because this dragon recharges that breath.
So to do the second level, I just have to cast the Wisdom DC 12.
Yes. Just like you previously cast Wisdom.
To just push that button.
I think you have to drag it onto yourself. Yeah, drag it onto yourself. No, you didn't do it. I think you have to either target yourself or drag it onto yourself to do it.
Well, I got a 12.
No, that 12 is just reiterating that's a DC 12. It's not a roll.
Well, I clicked the roll thing.
What you got to do is drag the dice out onto your character or target yourself and then click it. It's easier just to take the dice and drag it onto you. There you go. You see? Oh, I'm so sorry. You attempt a fancy ricochet right off the cactus, but the arrow lands inside the cactus.
Right, so
that attack is no good.
Okay,
so there's no point in making the attack. You failed the attack on that.
Yeah,
this is the first time you failed the ricochet.
Yeah, I'm going to try it again for my second attack.
Okay, roll that again.
Might as well. And this time, I don't have any inspiration.
No.
Yeah, I need to try something.
You should have done some better role playing before. I would have given you some.
Come back.
All right. I'm just kidding. Just messing with you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Unfortunately, that wasn't your attack roll.
No, but I mean, I get the. Okay, so now I put the effect.
Yeah, you put the effect on
successful.
yourself. The effect will give you a +6 to your attack and extra 2d6 damage.
Okay.
You also get sneak attack because John's right next to it.
Okay. Sneak attack.
For as long as John's still standing, he's right next to it.
So there's two effects on sneak attack, and maybe I need to do that first one. Is that because I tried the other one the second time or the first?
Put the one that has numbers on it, because the one that has numbers on it is the one that the
All right.
2d6. Yeah.
Okay, that's what the problem was the first time then. Okay, but I got to do an attack roll first. So. Oh, I gotta do advantage.
Oh, you nat 1 the attack roll.
Did you say I get advantage on that though?
No, you don't. What gives you advantage?
I thought you said I got. Oh, that was for the.
No,
never mind.
there's a difference between sneak attack and having advantage. Advantage is if you attack unseen. Unfortunately, you've already seen at this point.
Yeah, well, I'm going to because I really screwed that whole turn up. I'm going to run back into the tent for right now. Because I don't want to take the effects of that breath. At least I can pop out and shoot at him again, even though that whole turn was wasted. Sorry, guys. The sand was in my eyes.
Very cautious move. John says, "Don't be a coward. Come out here and fight with me."
What? I can't hear you because of the wind.
Camel 2 shouldn't even be in a combat tracker. They run the hell away. Gregory, you're up.
Okay.
You better run and take some healing potion or something.
Get in the fucking bubble.
Or run back in the bubble and take some healing potion.
I'm gonna run back in the bubble because I've only got.
Well, before you get in the bubble, you can attack.
Yeah, like I did, but do better than I did.
Alright. I'm gonna target the dragon. Let's control split, right? Alright, cool. And then what am I gonna do? I am going to do. Just to see what will happen. I'm gonna be a stereotype wizard for this round, and I'm gonna
Burn his ass.
oh, why is the token the wrong size? How do I increase the size of the token?
I don't know why your tokens show up.
Greg, I wouldn't worry about.
You probably don't need a token since you only got one target.
Yeah.
Alright, well I'm gonna just cast Fireball, but in a way that it doesn't hit John Ashford.
Yeah, you can do that.
You got sculpting anyway, don't you?
No, sculpting is for sorcerers.
That's, I'm a scribe, I'm not an evoker.
Oh, okay. My bad.
If I was an evoker, then yeah, evokers get to sculpt spells, but scribes don't.
But you should be able to hit him without getting John anyway from there.
Anywho.
Sculpting spells is not as good as it used to be because all it does is it allows everybody you choose to succeed. It doesn't like prevent them from taking any damage.
All right. Well, I'm gonna roll the dragon's saving throw.
The dragon actually fails his saving throw.
Oh, so he takes 8d6 fire damage.
And you guys are not of the level where he legendarily resists it. Ooh!
Nice job.
You bloody the dragon. This is a 4th edition dragon, therefore he announces, I have only half my hit points left. Because he's a spell-plagued dragon.
So I see
Blight dragon.
I see glowing blue blood oozing out of him. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And I walk into the bubble, and that's my turn. I already used my actions to cast the fireball.
Seeing how bloodied Gregory is, I'm like, I told you not to read the book. I'm gonna cast the big old cure wounds on Gregory to help him out quite a bit.
Thank you, Olaf.
Oh, thank you very much, Olaf.
Olaf, you were wise. You were the one that wanted to put this bubble up. So.
Anything else on your turn, Olaf?
Olaf should get inspiration for that.
And then me, you know what? That should be enough for right now. And then I'll yell at John Artford, hit and quit.
John Asher says, never fear. I will take this beast down. He screams, reaffirming his vow of enmity, and rails on it with his great sword. Ooh, that's a hit. And he gets a second attack. He is going to juice that attack up with his second divine might. So that's both his spell slots. I am not using his damn warlock slot. He's not a warlock to me. There we go. "36 points of damage. The creature looks heavily injured. Now the sign of Limerith is up. First he rolls a recharge. What he's gonna do depends on the results of this recharge. Ooh, no recharge.
Nice.
Because there is no recharge, the creature goes to John and attempts to grapple. So it's a strength contest against John.
You're strong, John. You're strong.
John would use his inspiration, but since he's not here, he gets no inspiration. Oh my goodness. Oh, you don't see these rolls.
No, we don't.
Oh my God.
No, I don't. I don't see them.
The creature grabs John in his mouth.
Uh-oh.
It lets out a roar, and it flies away with John. And depending on whether or not John shows up next week, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
That's not a bad idea, actually. so he's leaving, or?
It depends. He's not. I haven't. You know.
I don't mean John. I mean the dragon.
The dragon flies away with John.
So the combat's over with?
As far as you can tell.
Now then we need to, I guess, see if we can find the camels real quick and finish our rest.
Yeah, now we got to worry about what that dragon has John, so
Well, we need to go. I
We
mean,
noticed the dragon heading in the direction of the cave.
The dragon flies off somewhere in a easternly direction, but you can't tell if it's getting anywhere near.
I mean,
yeah. When it gets to the, we can't see it anyway because of this sandstorm.
Yeah, by the time it hits up in the air, you can't see which direction it goes because of the heavy sandstorm. However, once the dragon leaves, you see that the sandstorm somewhat abates.
I mean, role-playing wise, I know Olaf would like say, screw this guy we're trying to resurrect and try to chase after John, but
Unfortunately,
I understand what you're trying to do.
No. Unfortunately, the problem is at this point you have no idea where this dragon went. You kind of look around you, and you are in this deep basin.
I think John would want us to finish the well, honestly, the quest and then come after him.
what we could do is we can get back to the nomads, ask them about the dragon, if they see if they know anything about this dragon, and then we can hopefully
You certainly could do that. Right now you guys are very injured. However, you guys may complete a long rest.
Well, can we send? What about the camels?
You find the 2 remaining camels.
Okay. Then I think we should go ahead and finish the
So-
long rest.
With two camels left, if the 3 of you, one of you sits on one camel and has the supplies, the other 2 share the second camel. You can still make it.
Yeah, because I'm fairly small.
Yep.
Not,
We don't got big
not
heavy
really,
guns
but
anymore.
I'm medium. But okay.
Alright.
So I've clicked off a long rest. You guys have no exhaustion. Imagine how bad that fight would have been if you had a
Oh my
couple of levels of
gosh.
exhaustion.
Oh, we would have died. That thing
But
would
it-
have killed
I'm
us.
doing just fine, and sit in
Also-
my little bubble.
But it also reflects the choice you made coming through this dangerous basin over here.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of thought
Right.
something like that might happen, but I didn't figure it was
Well,
going to be.
no, I
dragon.
liked it. I like your line of thinking, but it stopped before you could reach.
Yeah.
I was even gonna go like way against the grain and tell the dragon, "Hey, you can eat the rest of our camels if you give us a ride back to the camp." Because thinking, okay, he can fly, he can get us to the camp quicker. But
He
think
wasn't,
that-
he wasn't thinking. He wasn't thinking well enough to make any kind of cogent decision.
Yeah, judging from the dragon's mental state, you think that if you had tried to make a deal with the dragon, it would have just meant more food for it. It would have eaten the camels and eaten you.
and then maybe turn around and eat us
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, this dragon, if you were to determine its alignment, it's somewhere along the lines of chaotic evil.
Oh yeah, which in that case you don't trust somebody like that.
Anyways,
Well, my suggestion is we do our rest and we go ahead and travel 5 days to the oasis, and then rest there,
Yes,
and then go
finished
to the
your rest.
caravan.
I finished your rest for you, and the next day you wake up and the mood is pretty glum. You guys have just you just lost John, and all of his possessions was taken away from you.
resurrection on him.
and yeah, you can't resurrect something that's not even there.
Right.
No, what I mean is I hope
We don't
the
even know.
resurrection.
We don't even know if he's alive or not.
You don't know what had happened to him, and we're gonna find out next week, depending on if he shows up.
But unless we find out different, we will search for him, Olaf.
Yeah.
Well, once we get to the nomad, back to the nomadic people, maybe they might be able to tell us something about this dragon.
Yeah, you unfortunately you don't know where this dragon is because it went up into the sky in the middle of a sandstorm. You saw it when it was flying in the eastward direction. That doesn't mean that's where it ended up. Because even before when you were walking, this creature was circling you. Its bestial animal instincts had made it been able to hide in the sandstorm from your vision. So the creature's smart enough to use its instincts to throw you off its scent, probably.
Right.
I know Olaf would wake up and he was just do a quick scout around to see if there's any signs they can see, and knowing that there's not much he can see, he's like, all right, guys, like, let's keep going.
John dropped his sword. So you pick up John's sword. It is a Frostbrand greatsword.
I'm good with knives, but not these things.
Yeah, it's unless somebody can equip a greatsword, not useful to you guys.
Yeah, but we can keep it for when John comes back, or if John comes back, or if someone
I'll throw it in the bag of old things I have.
Exactly. There's only so much that I, as a DM, will enjoy playing PCs when they're not here.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, understood.
There's always creative ways to remove somebody from a game or bring them into the game, etc.
Well, after hearing Gray's idea of going to the Oasis, I'm like, yeah, I
1,
think
2,
based on the
3,
math,
4,
That's
5.
5.
Okay,
Yep.
that is 5.
we'll get to the Oasis, be fully rested, and then meander the rest of the way.
If you move 5, that is automatically +2 to exhaustion. However, you are rolling your survival once again at +5 because a sandstorm has died off.
But we're in an oasis. If we go 5.
If you're able to reach it, in time, then it sleeping at the Oasis will take off your exhaustion. Yes.
Oh, I see.
You have to still rest it off. I mean,
Oh, okay.
exhaustion doesn't just like go away. It just you gotta have that sleep. It is actually the worst status effect in my opinion because the status effect you can't easily just remove. Like you can't even cast Greater Restoration to just get rid of it. You have to sleep. That's the challenge of the mechanics. Okay, so we got a 5 hex movement. I need a survival roll.
Guidance, if I can put that on you.
Okay. Do I get advantage or I can't remember?
Guidance gives you a +4, which should automatically roll with it.
All right. So I don't have the chart back up, so I'm just going to roll a d20.
If somebody else has proficiency in survival, I will allow a help action, which will give you advantage. But I don't think anybody else is proficient in it.
Sure, if I'm proficient in it, I think I am.
Well, nope.
That's my rule for help actions. If you
Okay.
are, you require proficiency to help.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's a check spamming situation.
You
in a lot of
got
games.
this, Gray. Find us
You got it.
something.
You're back at +5, so you should be okay.
Yeah.
There's no way you're gonna roll on that one. You know, you're not gonna automatically die.
Yeah.
So that's not possible. And you guys have no exhaustion so far, so you should be okay.
Well, I rolled and it did come up. It was a 12. Or did it come up?
I don't see it.
All right.
Yeah, I
well,
don't see anything.
Roll again then.
You rolled
9.
a D12. It's a D20. You should be rolling.
There we
Okay,
go.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
All
+5.
right.
Even plus
And-
4, but it don't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, and because you did not roll it as a check, that guidance did not go off.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just. Oh,
It's
he'll have
okay.
to take it off. There he
Okay,
did.
it's
He
okay.
did.
He
Yeah.
dies. So.
We got it.
You have no problem. You move all the way over to the Oasis. You get 2 points of exhaustion because you push yourselves on that movement. However, spending the night in the Oasis subtracts 2 points of exhaustion. However, you show up at the Oasis and there's some monsters there.
It's a lot of howevers.
Yeah, the problem is that you guys, you didn't. The thing is, like, these oases are rare, and other creatures, they also need to eat and drink,
Mm-hmm.
and they are naturally drawn to the oases just like you are. So let me apply some exhaustion. 2 points of exhaustion, speed halved, and disadvantage on ability checks.
I was gonna say, like,
Eat
depending on
half.
the characters, maybe we leave them alone, they leave us alone.
Your camels don't. I'm not going to bother doing exhaustion on camels or anything.
But he rolled more than whatchamacallit on.
Yes, but you traveled 5 hexes. That's what the 2 exhaustion comes from.
Okay.
But he rolled an 18 on the die, which... Oh, that takes away 2 levels of exhaustion, or 1?
It's supposed to take away 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. You rolled 18, right?
I rolled an 18, and 17 through 19 is supposed to take away 2 levels of
Oh, I
exhaustion.
forgot about that. Let me change. Let me make that change.
I'm saying we shouldn't be exhausted. We should.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
And that's even if we didn't find the oasis.
Yeah. Anyway, we can do a battle at the Oasis.
You
Okay.
could.
Midnight at the Oasis.
Question is, do you want to? Hold on, let me bring up.
Yeah, we only got 3 of us, remember?
Yeah, you guys are down a party member. Let me bring up an Oasis map. I have so many maps. This is probably why it's taking you forever to.
Now, if we sneak around or through the Oasis or whatever, and then head on to the, which is only what, two hexes away.
Yeah.
You said what would be the result of that?
If you don't stay at the Oasis, you can leave the Oasis, but you're going to be pushing yourself an extra level of exhaustion to move a hex away. But do you want to know what monsters you're facing first?
Yeah.
You can't. So you show up at the Oasis. You don't know what kind of monsters you're facing, but you see some footprints.
Well, can I tell what the footprints are?
Hold on a second. I am adjusting combat. There's a lag. It takes like two sessions before the combat challenge equals the three member party.
Oh. Wow.
Okay, so you kind of look around and you see that there are some footprints all over the sand. So this is fresh because the footprints in the sand usually gets wiped out within a few hours. So whoever's here, it must have not been that long ago. I'm setting up the encounter now. Look at this pretty map.
Yeah, that is a pretty map. It looks hot.
It's the Oasis. And the sand looks like coffee with cream.
Yeah, this sand looks like it's been swirled around a little bit. So you look around, and there are prints all over the place. There are not only prints, but burrow holes. And the prints look insectoid. You can roll me a... I think the most appropriate would be nature.
I got +3 nature. Anybody got better than that?
I also get +3 nature. And proficient in it.
For nature.
So I can help you look for it.
I've got a +7 in nature.
Oh.
Oh, well, it looks like we got a winner.
Oh,
So we can help him, I guess, since we're both proficient in it.
yeah. Oh, he gets the advantage.
Do you want me to roll in nature with advantage?
Yeah.
Alright, I
As
can do that.
you all do it together.
And we sit there and argue about what kind of footprint it is.
Because they're helping me, I get advantage on the roll.
Ah, nice.
You recall at the library you reading a book about these desert animals once many years ago. There are these insectoid, many-legged desert animals with long antennae. There's lots of different types of animals, but there's one type of animal that you kind of recall reading about that has these sharp praying mantis-like claws and also is able to burrow. So you deduce from the tracks and the burrow holes that these are enkhegs.
Hmm.
And what do you
That's
know
what
about
an
those?
that's what an egghead looks like. Eggheads are predatory animals, ambush predators. They use their mandibles. Their mandibles are very strong, can pretty much snap a tree in half. They use their praying mantis-like claws to burrow quickly through the earth and ambush prey. They will eat just about anything, including adventurers, and they love camels. So the issue with these eggheads is that they are very good burrowers. So they can attack you and then burrow away, and you don't even know where they are.
Yeah, this is.
After they kill their victim, what they do is they spit out this dissolving enzyme into the victim's mouth that dissolves the victim into a slime that they slurp up and eat. Some more interesting zoology.
Yeah, this is. John can tell me if this will work or not. What I would like to do is just keep our group together. I'll cast Pass Without a Trace on the entire group, and just
Sure.
can go around the oasis and then
Well.
see if we can make it to the caravan. We're only two hexes away.
Well, we still have to rest around here somewhere.
Yes, you can choose. If you choose to not rest at the oasis, you're gonna have to at least grab an exhaustion because you move a hex away.
I'm not sure if we're going to go if we're going to the
Yeah,
right
I
to
don't
the
know.
So
caravan. Then
you have to understand this is the end of the day. So at this point, you guys are ready to rest. By
The
the time you
question
make
is, what's
you
the
make it to the
lesser?
oasis.
What's the lesser of the two evils? Getting back to the caravan with the level of exhaustion, or fighting these ankheads that could kill us, could kill our camels, and suffer a very, very horrible death. And we don't even know how many of them there are. Actually, would I be able to deduce how many of them there may be, or?
I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight anyway. I just rather.
I
get
think
out
we
of
go
here.
away, and I think we go around them and just go one more space and get.
So
maybe
I
one
guess
level
I'm
up.
asking if we can make it to the caravan if we just sneak around the oasis and then head on.
If you continue to travel through the night, every hex is a level of exhaustion. So yes, you can go to the caravan. It'll take 2 levels of exhaustion to travel through the night.
Well, I think that's what we should do because then we
Because
can.
that's sort of like giving you 7 hexes of travel for this day.
Then that's I think what we should do, and then we can rest at the caravan and
Yeah.
get rid of our exhaustion, and that way we don't have to worry about messing with these praying mantises, whatever they are.
These ankheads, yeah, I don't. Because to me, I feel like.
Let's do it.
So I will
Let's
cast
exert ourselves.
Pass. I don't have to really cast it because it'll be unless you want me to.
Because if we just take the 2 levels of exhaustion, and then if we give them the Rod of Resurrection, bring back the Elder Son, then I'm sure they'll let us rest at their camp. And
Plus, we can ask them where the dragon might be, and
Yeah,
maybe
we
it's
can learn-
maybe it's on our way to the dungeon
dragon
that we need to go to.
earlier.
So I think
Keep
that's what
moving.
we want to do. I think that's what we do, John.
All right.
All right.
So you guys elect to bypass this oasis.
Yep.
And you want to travel through the night, suffering 2 points of exhaustion as you finally make it up to the camp.
Camp didn't move. That we know of.
No, the camp did not move.
But
Oh man, don't
you-
butt me in the butts.
I didn't even butt. You butted.
It was Olaf.
Now I feel like I have to butt because you butted.
they're all
But,
dead.
but,
well, they're expecting us, right? So it makes sense that
Yeah.
they waited for us.
Yeah.
you cross into the camp, and everybody's staring at you as you come up to the camp. Something has changed because they're all looking at you a little funny. They don't say anything, they just kind of look down when you look at them. So naturally, you guys just walk straight to the area of the leaders. I think I do have that here.
We can get rid of those other 2 maps right now, can't we?
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
Oh, I might have made a mistake in this combat tracker. It doesn't affect you guys. It's just ugh, what happened here? I have way too many tokens. I had like 80 tokens spawn.
You don't have to do them on our account.
No, you guys don't. You guys should not even see this. This is all in the invisible,
I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, the invisible DM combat tracker that I work with. It's supposed to make things easier. It only does that 50% of the time. The other 50% it makes things harder. All right, your camels are with you, so I'm gonna just skip those tokens. There we go. That's how we do it. Perfect. Ignore all this stuff in the combat tracker. It's just a lot. They're not. It's not a battle. They're just tokens, so I know where everything is. And this is you guys. So the person you were dealing with before is Tariq, and he runs right out to you guys as you're approaching. He says, "Do you have it? Do you have it?" And you can see that everybody else in the camp is just kind of looking at him with this weird look.
I was gonna say, which one of us has the Rod of Resurrection?
It is actually in your party inventory. You guys didn't determine who was. I could be mean and say John had it, but that's unfair.
But we do notice that the people looking at him funny.
They're all looking at him funny.
Can we kind of insight check him?
Yeah. You may. Whoever has the highest insight.
I got a +5.
You may roll your insight to kind of figure out what the mood is here. You get the impression that these all the people here, they are not only are they not very welcoming of you at this point, but they are also not friendly with your host Tariq, who is their leader anymore.
Oh, hello, Tariq.
They don't have weapons drawn or anything, so it's not like that.
They what?
They don't have weapons drawn or anything, so you don't get the impression they're about to attack you, but certainly they're not very friendly towards you.
Well, I'll tell the guys. Guys, something's a little off about Tariq. Does he look funny to you at all, Gregory?
Does he look funny to me?
With your what eyes? Like
he looks like he's at his wit's end. He looks like he's stressed out. His hair's matted. His clothes aren't fitting. Are like.
So what's the matter, Tariq?
I've been worried sick.
About
my son.
About your son, yeah.
My son. I wanted to see, but also. He says, I don't think that what I've done was the right thing to do. To tell you what I knew.
Well, you haven't told us yet. and you also hadn't gotten the rod yet. So, do we still have a deal, or what?
We do. We still have a deal, but I must be honest with you. I don't think that I have the confidence of my people any longer. All right. So continuing on, Tariq comes up to you, and you can see that he's extremely distraught, and he says, "I'll still help you. You know, just help my son. I'll still help you, even though I think I've lost the confidence of my people. Just please help my son."
Well, with
And he points over and he points over to his son, who is his body is well preserved, lying on a little table altar with like wreaths of flowers around him.
Well, if Olaf's, I don't know how high he rolled, but is he able to tell whether he's sincere about helping us or not?
He seems pretty sincere. He doesn't seem to be trying to deceive you, and you'll probably be able to tell because he seems to be very stressed out right now.
I look at Olaf and I said, if you feel like that he's being honest, I think we went through all that to get this restoration staff, and it's not going to do us any good anyway, so we might as well go ahead and help him out with his son. What do you think?
Regardless of how everyone else feels, I know Olaf is just gonna... He's willing to go help anyways, in his character, to help with such a situation, and I think I don't know if Olaf has the ability to cast the resurrection. Use the rod of resurrection. Anyone can use it, that thing, or have to upcast or something like that.
Resurrection is within your spellcasting capabilities if you were that level, of course. So you are able to cast resurrection. However, the spell resurrection is many spell slots higher. So, what is your highest level of spell you can cast?
Right now, it should be 4th level.
Resurrection is a 7th level spell. So we need your spell casting modifier. I don't totally remember how to hold on.
Even if it's a rod, he's not casting it on his own.
It follows the same rules as if you were casting from a scroll.
Oh, well, in that case, does it even matter then? Because if it's like that, then it's not like...
So here's the rules for casting a spell from a scroll. If the spell is on your class's spell list but higher level than you can normally cast, you must make an ability check using your spellcasting ability to determine whether you cast it successfully. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a failed check, you get absolutely nothing and it's wasted. So this DC is going to be high. This is going to be based on your charisma because that's your spellcasting ability. It's going to be a DC of 17.
The only argument you can make is I cannot, even at high levels, I cannot cast resurrection.
Oh, you can't?
It's not in my spell list.
I thought it would be. You're not in? It's not part of the.
It's not part of the Celestial Warlock spell list.
Oh,
only bards and clerics.
And you kind of look around, and Tariq says, "Can none of you cast this spell?"
Can't you? We thought you could.
You need a priest.
Tariq says, "As you know, such magics have been forbidden among the Shaitani." And he says, he kind of looks down and he says, "Well, I could, but once I do that, myself and my son, we will no longer be welcome here."
Well, you're welcome to join with us.
He says, I must do this. There's nothing in the world that matters to me more than my son." And he opens his hand for you to give him the rod of resurrection.
We give it to him.
He walks over and he says, "By ancient right, the inheritor of the Netherese, I summon upon thee my ancient birthright as the leader of the Shaitani. And you can see as he starts chanting his incantation, all the nomads around him start backing off, and they start whispering, "Blasphemy, blasphemy, blasphemy." And you can see they all start moving away because you can tell that this is something he's absolutely not supposed to be doing. And then Sabine, he's the merchant that was there. He goes over and he puts his hand on Tariq's hand. He says, "Tariq, I have known you for 40 years. You know the price you will pay for doing this." And Tariq says, "I know." There he says, "But my son Khalil, he is everything to me. What else do I have in life?" And Sabine says, "You betray the writ of your own people for your son." Tariq says, "I can do nothing less. The pain, I cannot live with this pain." And then the other nomads start backing away and singing blasphemy. And then Tariq turns to you guys. He starts writing something on a piece of parchment. And he folds the parchment up and he puts the parchment in his son's hands. And Tariq says to you guys, he says, "No matter what happens, you cannot intervene. Please, hurt none of my people. This is our way. Please, you must promise." He's kind of looking at you guys for confirmation that you won't attack anybody, no matter what happens.
Well, it's pretty admirable for the fact that you want to save your son. So I'm okay. I vow that I won't hurt any of your people unless they hurt me first.
I will say to Sabine, well, Tariq may be doing the wrong thing. Do not punish Khalil for Tariq's actions.
The sins of the father, Sabine says, he is already damned because of his father's actions, but he will not suffer his father's fate. And Tariq says, that which you wish to know, I have written here. And he points to the parchment in Khalil's hand. And Tariq completes the spell of resurrection. And you guys marvel at the power. You guys have not even seen a spell of this caliber yet. As he casts the spell, you can see that the entire air grows completely still. The sand that is flying through the air freezes for a moment as the strands of divinity light upon the staff, and strands of divine energy infuse into the body of Khalil. The rod of resurrection lights up and then is completely silent. And as this happens, Khalil takes a breath. And as this happens, all the nomads surrounding the area turn around and they scream, "Blasphemy!" They take out their arrows, they knock it, and they fire arrows right into Tariq. Every single one of them, deadeye right into his neck. And Tariq drops to his knees, gushing with blood. But he sees his son waking up in his last moment of satisfaction as he dies. And Khalil just wakes up and he gasps in breath, having just been resurrected, racked with pain, his body weak. Looking around, he says, Where am I? Where am I? Father, no!" And he rolls down, embracing his father. "What have you done? No!" Sabine, the merchant, just kind of shakes his head and walks away.
Olaf would go over to Khalil and put a hand on his shoulder and say, I know the pain, Khalil. A father sacrificing himself for his son. it is a great sacrifice, but he would want you to move on.
Khalil looks at you with tears in his eyes, and he says, I saw you in the cave of the deceiver Alim. What are you doing here in the camp? And how is it that I breathe again after having been crushed by that monstrosity?
You were able to support us and help us. We felt the need to support you. We thought at the very least we would be able to let you come rest with your family.
But Alim's lies, Alim's deceptions, are they ended? Is the shaitan satiated?
Yes.
Then glory be to shaitan. And he kind of looks down, and one of the nomads kind of steps forward, and he says, he looks at Khalil, and he says, Khalil Amari, for the sins of your father, for breaking the trust for the inheritors of the Netheril, we have pronounced upon him death. For you, his descendant, the sins of the father, we pronounce upon you banishment. Khalil's like, it can't be true. Oh, Father, why? How could you bring this dishonor upon us? And the nomad just kind of he just walks off emotionless. Banishment.
So I walk over and I just put my hand on his shoulder and I whisper a prayer to Maleki to help him to pass into the afterlife peacefully. And I look at what's the guy's name? I forgot already. Kaleem.
There are two. There's Khalil, which is the son, and Tariq, who is the father who just died.
Well, I prayed for the father, and I look at Khalil and I said, your father was the one who made the choice to go ahead and restore your life, and he kind of asked us to take care of you, and he gave you a parchment to give to us to help us in our quest.
Khalil looks down in his hands, and there's parchment in his hands, and he says, so this is for you. He doesn't even read it, he just kind of hands it to you. And he says, such dishonor, to be banished from my people, to be stripped of my identity. You can see he kind of looks, he's on his knees, just looking very despondent. You pick up the parchment and you open up the parchment, and as you open up the parchment, all the others are kind of looking over at you. The nomad comes over, he kind of looks at you, says, if those contain secrets involving the Netherese Empire, we cannot let you leave.
I just say there's no secret. It's just his last wish that we take care of his son and take him with us, because he knew that he would be banished from the camp. And then I stuck the parchment into my pocket.
You briefly glance at the parchment, and the title of the parchment is Secrets of the Netherese Empire. So you're gonna have to roll a deception. The very title of the parchment says that.
Oh, that's probably my worst roll. Can I get guidance?
Sure.
Oh, well, I'll stand in there.
If anybody is skilled at deception and wants to interject and help.
Yeah, I got 0 on it.
Oh, 0's better than negative.
Well, I know.
I'm positive 3, but I'm not proficient in it, so I don't think you'd be able to help you with it. But
you know what? Guess who comes in to help you? Sabine.
Oh, sweet.
Sabine walks over and looks at you, and he says, haven't there been enough tragedy today? You should just let them pass. So he offers help on your deception roll.
So, get advantage?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Advantage.
All right.
Naturally.
Wow, that's not bad.
With advantage, that's not bad.
There we go.
The nomad backs off.
We say, Khalil, I think you should come with us until you determine what you will do.
Come with you, but where are you going? I have no home and no purpose.
We're going to need help to find our comrade who was taken by a dragon. I don't think anybody here is going to offer us any help, so perhaps you could help us find him.
Dragon, you say? There's only one dragon around here.
A disease dragon.
Yes, a voracious beast feasting upon our camels.
Well, we wounded him pretty badly, so he took off flying with our comrade, and they were grappling each other. Our comrade's pretty strong, but I don't know if he can take him on by himself. So maybe you can help us and follow us.
Maybe you know his nesting grounds.
Well, since I have nowhere else to go and no more home, I suppose that I should help you, for you have helped my father, though his decisions be very unwise.
We're very grateful.
He goes over and picks up his daggers and follows you.
So I'm assuming if we look around, we're going to kind of figure out that we're probably not welcome in this camp anymore.
You are when you ask around, the Shaitani tell you that the rules, there are rules of the desert. There are rules of conduct. Once shelter is offered to a friendly person, shelter must never be taken away unless that person betrays your trust. And because they offered you shelter in trust, and you have not technically betrayed their trust, you may still rest here. But they are not going to help you or tell you anything. They are under new management at this point.
Under new management.
So you no longer are welcome to shop here either.
Well, I was going to ask that next.
Yes, because of the actions that you've taken. So you still have the 2 camels that you bought from here, but they are not willing to sell you anymore. They are not hostile, and they're not going to attack you, and they will allow you to rest here, but they are not going to be sharing any more information.
I say we rest.
Yeah, because
we're really exhausted.
We're really tired. So yeah, I think we should rest.
And then we go to make our way.
We'll, allow him to kind of guide us to wherever the nest is, and when we get far enough out of camp, we can read the parchment.
As you guys are leaving the camp, you see that Khalil has gotten into an argument with one of the guards right before you guys leave, and he screams to one of the guards. He's like, "I demand the body of my father," and the guard says no. He says he was executed in disgrace, and he shall be treated in disgrace. And Khalil says, "No, has he not suffered enough?" And you see they're kind of sitting there pushing each other, like about to get to fisticuffs.
So I'll just say, wait, hold on. Wouldn't it be better for a traitor such as he to be taken out of the camp? We'll offer to take him out of the camp and bury him somewhere else. Put him to rest somewhere out in the desert.
The guard turns to you, and he says, "You do not understand our ways. He is a man of disgrace, a criminal. His soul cannot be allowed to pass to the Shaitan. Nay, he must be hung up, and he must be taken by the dryness of the desert." And Khalil says, "No, not my father, no." And you can see that the guards are taking the body of Tariq, and they string it up and they're fixing it on a pole, sort of like a crucifixion.
Anything in your history books that you read that could help us out here, Gregory?
That's a good question.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a mistake. Khalil's not attacking right now.
Would Gregory know anything?
You can roll a history.
All right, I'll roll a history check then.
Perhaps something in your books will have given you some kind of insight on maybe something we can tell him to allow them to take his body with us, so there won't be any problems.
Gregory, you rolled a nat 1 on the history.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so you from what you learn about the desert people, you think that if for desert nomads, if you got you should probably throw a party.
That doesn't sound like a very good idea, Gregory.
But you're certain that you have not read much about the history of it. Hold on a second, let me bring up.
I think Olaf will just try to get in between the guard and Khalil,
Try to
and
convince Khalil just to come on and.
to convince them to come on and be like, Khalil, I know this will be hard, but there's not much else you can do for your father.
You can try persuading him. It looks like Khalil is trying to get in a fight with his guard over here. You can try to convince him to come with you instead.
You may not be able to help him, but I'm sure you will be able to help us in finding our comrade who came to who helped us resurrect you. And I will be persuasion.
You guide yourself.
Guidance. Yep, I guidance myself.
You are able to persuade Khalil to not fight the guard. However, Khalil is horribly demoralized, knowing that his father will be crucified in the desert. He gets a nerf to his damage.
Well, Khalil, just to maybe make you feel a little bit better. Your father did make us promise not to hurt any of your fellow villagers, so I'm sure that he wanted the same thing for you.
He says, but to think my father, once a proud Shaitani, leader of my tribe, to be disgraced, his body left to dry in the desert until they are bones.
And your father knew that was what would happen to him, and perhaps I said a prayer to my goddess Maleki. Maybe she will help to guide his spirit into a good place anyway, despite what the villagers want.
Okay, you can have some inspiration. Unfortunately, it's not enough to remoralize Khalil.
Well,
so Khalil's getting a little bit of a little bit of a damaged nerf.
Okay.
His abilities. So Khalil tells you, he reveals to you that he does know of this wasteland dragon. It's been terrorizing their little encampment for quite some time now. It's been well known that this dragon kind of lives out in the desert, never known to actually attack people directly. He says usually this wasteland dragon, it's completely deranged and insane, and it just it only acts based on its hunger, and it likes to eat camels. So what it generally does is come in the middle of the night, steal a couple of camels, and then fly away before the guards can be roused up. But it has killed packs and packs of camels, and this is something that they've been dealing with for a long time. They do know that the dragon nests somewhere in the mountains nearby. And where's the map?
Okay. You got a bunch of screens that show up. You got the Anorak map, caravan
Yeah,
map.
I know.
Okay.
The only map we're dealing with right now is the caravan map. So Khalil points to this location over here. I'm going to also mark it off.
Wow, that.
Mark it off with a little thing. He says Khalil tells you that he knows of this dragon, and he knows that it roosts atop this mountain over here. It's a very steep and dangerous climb up that mountain. There's no easy path up the mountain. You just have to climb it. And he says that when they try to send warriors up the mountain to fight the dragon is smart enough to catch them while they're climbing up the mountain. There's no cover while you're climbing. He says if your friend was taken by the dragon, your friend might be dead already. So he points off the dragon's lair is up there, and then you guys, once you are clear of the camp, you finally unfold Tariq's message, the secrets of the Netheril, and you read it in its entirety. And Tariq says that the Shaitani people are descendants of the Netherese, even though that's a secret that they hold within themselves. Outsiders are not supposed to know. They are direct descendants of the Netherese, and they recognize that the Netherese, the Netheril Empire, were extremely corrupt by their lust for power, their lust to create extremely powerful magic to rival the gods. Because of this, the Netherese destroyed themselves, and only a small handful of young people survived. And when they survived, they made a promise to each other that they would never use Netherese magic again. Not only would they never use it, but they would ensure that the Netherese magic doesn't go into the world again. So they live in the desert, protecting the known secrets of the Netheril. The Netheril, after the fall of the Netheril Empire, you guys learned from that genie that the Fyren came because of the swirling magical chaos energies. It attracted the Fyren, and the Fyren came and were a massive scourge to the entire world. The Fyren were finally put down and sealed into their own realm by 12 seals, one of which you guys have broken. And it tells you that the location of the 12 seals, only 2 of them are known, and one of them you guys have already found out because he told you. He says the second seal is deep in the plains of standing stones, and I will mark off where it is. The seal is upon an ancient altar, and you have to say when you arrive, it is well hidden, even from magics that you use to detect. He says the only way you can unseal it is the blood of a Netherese.
Blood of a Netherese?
Yes, the blood of a Netherese, which is why not like you have to kill one, but just the blood.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you have Khalil with you is actually a bonus in this case, because he happens to be.
Should we choose to break that seal?
If you break that seal, the importance of that second seal is that many centuries after the fall of the Netheril Empire, there came a wizard by the name of Caraptus. You guys are very well aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
Caraptus was obsessed with power and obsessed with discovering the secrets of the Netheril Empire, and he had terrorized the Shaitani in order to reveal the secrets of the Netherese Empire, but they resisted. No matter what he did, no matter how much he tortured them, they would not let any secrets through, until finally he was able to torture one of the Netherese to a point where he invaded that poor man's mind to discover the secret. So the way that the Shaitani work is that they have several tribes, and no one single tribal leader knows all the secrets.
Mm-hmm.
So he only found out one of the secrets of the Netherese Empire, one of the seals, and that happens to be the seal that in question that I'm pointing to. So once he discovered the secret of that seal, it is not clear what he did, but it is said that he went to the seal, broke the seal, and absorbed all of its power to create some sort of vault. The location of the vault is unknown. However, the seal, she will point it out if you can unseal it. However, there's another kind of layer to this, in that when he absorbed the power of the ancient seal on the Netherese seal, he put with his own magic a seal of his own, an unbreakable, powerful arcane spell that blocked off any access to the seal. So not only do you have to deal with the ancient Netherese seal that requires the blood of a Netherese, but you also have to break Caraptus' seal. In order to Caraptus, however, the way he operates, and you know, this is all written down. The way Caraptus works is that he enslaves the minds of minions to do his bidding, and once he gains his seat of power, he just likes to sit back and have his minions do his work for him. But he doesn't trust the loyalty of any creature, so he insists on domination. He uses magic to control the minds and indoctrinate them to do his will. He has a network that reaches all throughout Faerun, and it is almost impossible to tell who is an agent of Caraptus. There's almost no scrying magic that can tell whose mind has been affected by Caraptus. In fact, the person whose mind is dominated by Caraptus may not even know. So his minions, he gives special privileges to cross the seal and to go into the inner vault. His special symbol is the symbol of a K. And Tariq draws this symbol on that piece of paper, and you guys recognize that symbol. It actually looks a lot like that symbol of that original ledger you got.
The V symbol?
Not the V symbol. The original note that you got. That's the symbol.
Oh.
So his minions have amulets with that symbol, and if you have an amulet with that symbol, you are recognized as a servant of Caraptus, and you are allowed past the seal of Caraptus. But you brought up the idea of a V. You guys kind of dig into your pocket, because when you took down Alim in his fake dungeon, he dropped an amulet that looked like a V. And you take the V and you compare the V to the letter, and you realize that the V is half of a K. So you realize that you have half of an amulet that can unseal Caraptus' lair. You need a second half, and these half are exactly the same, but they are two parts of a whole.
Okay.
Is there any way you can at least post a link to what was written on that parchment so we can like?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna write the parchment out. There's something failing right here where all the stuff I wrote got erased. So I will have to rewrite it, and I will post it. Certainly in the in-character roleplay channel.
Okay.
It's gonna be it's a big lore dump.
Yep. All right.
So you guys know that the way to get into the secret vault of Caraptus. What you need to do is you need to retrieve a second half of that amulet, and then you need to go to the seal, the ancient Netherese seal. You need to use blood of the Netherese to unseal the ancient seal, and then you need to use Caraptus' symbol to unseal Caraptus' seal, and then that will open the way to Caraptus' hidden vault, which you assume is what you're looking for.
Okay.
That other little cave icon is where supposedly this horrible dragon is.
So it's all in the general direction, right? Yeah.
How many people are picturing John Ashford fighting like Gandalf against the Balrog?
Yeah, maybe you go over there and John Ashford shows up riding the dragon. Who knows?
I mean, he might.
Not likely, but
If he get out of his mouth, I mean, he can put up a pretty good fight.
It'd be interesting if he somehow ends up befriending the dragon.
Alright. Well, we can. Do we want to? I'm sure we're looking at this on our own, just the three of us. But would we show? Do you guys think we should show this to Khalil, all this information, or keep the secret from Khalil?
Well, he's with us. I mean, he can't go back to his village.
no, he can't. He has been banished and no longer has a home.
And my guess is they'll probably send messengers out that he's not allowed to go to any other villages either. That's kind of the way those tribes work. So I don't really see anything wrong with him knowing what we're.
Well, at this rate, he's got nothing left to lose.
Or we could just wait until after to see if we can use his help in saving John if we end up doing that.
Well, we're gonna have to. I mean, the main thing is I would ask Khalil if he has any ideas. I mean, show him the V and ask him if he's seen any of these anywhere else to see if the seal and bone.
He looks at you very concerned, and he says, "What purpose have you hunting down the followers of the Dark Caraptus?" And he looks at you. He's like, "Are you servants of Caraptus?"
No, we are actually not from around here. We've been sent on a wise quest
to kind of undo some of the evil that he's done. How about that?
Khalil says, Khalil looks at you and he says, I must say, even if you know of Caraptus, you are in danger of serving him. Most of his servants are not even aware that they serve him. He says, but I am in no position to question what you are doing.
No, Khalil, you are in a position to question what we're doing because we will need your help.
How is that?
And I will show him the note that his father has written.
He reads, he sits there reading the entire note in wonderment. He says, "The secrets of my tribe. Why would my father entrust you with all the secrets of my tribe?"
Because Khalil, eventually these were going to be your secrets. He would have passed these secrets on to you anyway.
Yes, and it is the duty of the leader of the Shaitani to never divulge these secrets. He says my father did so in perhaps foolishness and desperation. He says, but I am torn as to what to do. As a Shaitani, what I should do is go back to the camp and tell them what you know, and we should hunt you down. But as a son, I cannot do this. I cannot undo what my father has done to give me another chance at life. And you can see he's very torn about this, what to do now that you've shown what his father has written to you.
Isn't it also your job to protect the magic of the Nessalese?
Yes, but it is not my place to question how the magic must be protected. Are you completely certain that you are not agents of Caraptus himself. He looks at you like intently.
Yes, we were given a token by one of his primary enemies and a wizard that was his equal. And the token also, I'm sure, protects us from becoming minions. We're either going to defeat him or complete our quest or probably die trying.
Do you know that most of the minions and those dominated by Caraptus do not know that they serve him? All they know is that they are drawn to him for one reason or another, and what they do is fall perfectly into his corrupted plan.
Yes, but thanks to the token that we were given, we've already escaped his grasp once. So I believe we're protected.
He said, Khalil says, it does not appear I have any other different choice in the matter. I cannot go and be a Shaitani once more. I do not know if following you and going down your path will lead to destruction and to the empowerment of everything that I've fought against. But at this time, I believe it is my only course of action. I cannot do nothing. I cannot walk into the wastes and fade away. I must act. And he says, for better or worse, I will follow you to the end.
Very well. And I think, and after he does that, I would show him the V emblem. Thinking I'm like,
yes, the symbol of Caraptus. He says, I took that from the neck of Alim when he fell. Oh no, yeah, he didn't. He died before. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I took that from the neck of Alim when he was not looking. We take these emblems. We usually throw them into the oasis, and they are taken away by spirits. We do this so Caraptus cannot affect his minions.
but as you can see from your father's note, we're probably going to need another one of these. Do you know where we can find one of these?
And Khalil thinks for a second. He says, well, we throw them into the purifying oasis. There is one oasis, a very secret one in the desert that never changes despite the magical ebbs and flows. We throw it in there, and this oasis is powerful abjuration magic. It should strip all power away from anything thrown inside. That is where we take these amulets from agents of Caraptus when we find them. We can go there, but I tell you, the magic from the amulets I've thrown in there are long gone. But there is a second way. I know of another agent of Caraptus who is at work at this time. We kill her, and we can take her amulet. The choice is yours. I will follow.
Where, I show him the map. Do you know where would we head if we're going to find this person?
You're talking about the person or the oasis?
Both.
Person.
Okay. He marks off the oasis as far off on the edge of the map over here. He says the oasis of purification. And then he says, then the other agent of Caraptus. I know very little about her, but I do know that she is the head of a dark cult worshipping horrific gods.
Shit.
He points all the way on here. He says, if you wish to go there, I can tell you more. So, you have two options.
Go first.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you which one is better and which one will lead to your inevitable death or anything. So there's a lot of options for you to consider on where you want to go next. Firstly, if you go here, you go to the peak. You go to the peak of this mountain. That's where you can face the dragon and figure out what has happened to your party member. Secondly, the oasis over here is the oasis of purification, where the Shaitani throw all of the Caraptus's amulets into. However, he warns you that once the amulet goes into the oasis, it is stripped of all its magical power. It is powerful, chaotic abjuration magic. So it will just strip anything of its magical power. So even if you were to obtain one of these amulets that he threw into the oasis, you may not be able to use it because it's stripped of power. And finally, he points all the way on over here at the edge of the Anarok, at the plane of standing stones, where he says there is a dangerous cultist and agent of Caraptus that lives there. And she should have another viable amulet. So you guys got choices.
I think we go to try to see if we can save John and try to figure out what's going on with John. I think that'd be our first step. And then we could decide which direction to go from there, or if we find out anything or whatever happens there.
All right.
Yeah, we should figure out what happened to John, if he's still alive, and
Yep.
we already lost one party member. We don't need to lose one.
Yeah, the Anarok has been swallowing up your party members left and right.
I think we're gonna need John's sword for we plan on doing. So I think. Oh, we have his sword technically.
You have a sword, but you're talking metaphorically.
Yes.
You need somebody to swing that sword.
We need his too.
Yeah.
All right, plot your course then.
As much as I want to be in a rush to get John, I think we go
I just think we go three at a time.
3 at a time.
Unless Khalil knows secrets that can help us move faster in the desert.
Khalil comes with his own camel, so I will add another camel.
At least his former villagers aren't that mean. And
No,
leave
this
him-
is his camel. They don't take away his camel.
They could have. Then we would have to fight. So.
All right, so 1, 2, 3. This is three hexes of movement. I need a survival roll.
Yep. Survival.
I think it's Gray making the survival rolls because he's rolling the +5.
He's the guy.
So are you giving me the guidance?
Oh. Sure, I'll give you the guidance, yes.
Okay.
You got it. You get it.
Ooh, that was close. That was close.
Phew, thanks for the guidance, man.
All right, not bad. That's a good day's travel. Hold on a second. I do have an encounter on top of that.
Right. A roll for an encounter. If we have an encounter.
Well, it'd be almost nice to use up our time so that we can do the mountain next week when maybe John will be here.
Yeah.
Or if we find a dragon, we find out he's dead anyway.
Well, you don't have much of a choice on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3? Or
No, you guys.
No, we
have
got
been
an encounter. He said.
You guys have gotten attacked.
okay. Ooh.
I'm just setting up the encounter here.
Surprisingly suspiciously like a spider.
Problem is, somebody messed with the.
Didn't mess with anything.
One, two, three. So you guys are passing through this kind of rocky crevasse. There we go.
Ooh. Crap.
Yeah, luckily I can. So as you guys are passing through this rocky crevasse, you realize quite suddenly that there's some creatures up high. They're darting about, small little creatures. You kind of think you spot one. It has wings, just kind of flying about you. You guys brace for combat. You're still on your camels.
Do you want us to roll initiative or?
You can re-roll initiative, sure, unless you want to keep the ones from last battle.
I'm okay with that, but I'm okay with also re-rolling if other people aren't happy with their rolls.
That was pretty roll.
Good. Alright, I'll roll mine.
Oh yeah, you guys don't even have initiatives right now, so yes, you do need to. Okay, now that we are all in initiative. Gray.
Yep.
You don't see it coming, an arrow comes at you. Oh, I'm sorry, not an arrow. Something flies above you and drops a rock on you.
Oh. Well, crap.
You did not see this one coming.
Okay.
It hits you, pelts you with a rock. 5 points of damage. You were rolling on concentration on something?
I didn't roll anything that I know of.
You might.
I bet you I still had Hunter's Mark up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just we'll make sure that's not. Let me see. Something. Swarmkeeper. Yeah, you had Hunter's Mark. That's why the concentration roll. So what? So this creature just does a flyby in the air and then goes back into hiding. Very difficult to find. And you realize that this creature is a creature that you guys have seen before. It appears to be a kobold, and the kobold has wings. But it is hiding up above, where you can't see it. And then a second one comes around, flies from here to here. This one perches in an area where you can see him. You can see Winged Kobold. Now you're ready for the assault, so he doesn't get the advantage, but he's still going to drop the rock.
Winged Kobold, huh? Who's he dropping the rock?
These kobolds seem to have a very kind of a sand-colored skin, very well camouflaged. He's going to pelt you with a rock. Now you're up.
Okay. So he shot his rock at me too?
Yeah, but there was another one that flew by and landed in the area to the right, where is out of your line of sight.
Oh, okay.
This is all these little ledges. They're about 10 feet up.
Okay. So
This one you can see because he landed on this rock.
Okay, I'm gonna recast. Not really recast, but cast Hunter's Mark. There we go, and put it on the winged kobold number 3, and take a shot at him.
You're still on the camel, just remember that. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I kind of want to jump off the camel.
Yeah, it's half speed to jump off camel.
All right, so let me jump wherever you want. 5, 10. I'll just move over here, kind of between these rocks. Is that me? Yeah. I want to make sure I grab the right one, and go ahead and take a shot at the kobold.
He screams.
Okay, it was a hit. Okay, so
Hey, John, you might want to run roll initiative for Khalil also, I would assume.
and shoot, I forgot to put my. I'll put my swarm on this shot because I get 2 shots anyway. So see if I hit first. Yep. Okay, Swarmkeeper. Okay.
That kills him.
All right. Okay, so let me turn Swarmkeeper off. Oh, it turned itself off. No, it didn't. It did automatically go off though by doing that, so that was cool. Okay, so I'm just kind of going to duck in underneath these boulders a little bit, maybe get a little bit of cover from flying pebbles, and then I'll pass my turn.
Okay, the kobold's turn is up next. There's another hidden kobold. Flies overhead. He flies from here to here, landing in out of sight, so you can't hit him. And he's gonna drop a rock on Olaf. Yeah, he pelts you with a rock. 8 points of damage. Now it's Gregory Marsh's turn.
Okay. So,
He just appeared, by the way. John.
Yeah, you're not. You can't see him. He's sort of he's out of line of sight.
so the only thing Gregory can do at this point is, if I realize that these guys are kobolds, I'm just gonna say in Draconic.
Well, you could ready a shot for when they appeared.
I could.
I mean, you can still talk, but
Kill one of their friends because they were attacking us. So I'm gonna say, we do not mean any harm. We're just passing through. However, if you keep attacking us, we will perceive that as a threat and we will deal with it as accordingly.
From somewhere up in the cliffs, you hear one of the kobolds screams back. Okay, you do no harm and just leave all your gold there and go.
Leave our what?
leave our gold.
Anything else? What are you going to do on your turn?
Let's see, do I have minor illusions prepared? Oh, I do. Okay, so what I do... Actually, how much gold do I have?
I wouldn't give him no gold.
Yeah. You're gonna keep dropping rocks on us.
You know what I'll do? Because I've got a lot of gold. I'll just say, okay, should I get off my camel? Where did he say to leave the gold?
Anywhere, I think. Just leave it.
Drop the gold on the ground.
Alright, so what I'll do, I'll say, okay, so I'll reach into my money pouch and pull out, I'll pull out like 5 gold pieces and I'll drop them on the ground.
Say no,
Okay.
don't give him all our gold.
That'll be your turn then, and that would probably cost an action.
Yeah. But I don't say that I'm how much gold I have. I just drop 5 gold
What's
pieces.
that all touchy up what I yelled? Don't give him all our gold.
I'm just doing that to get them to like. Okay, it's an interesting toll system, but okay. Just pay. It's best to just pay the toll rather than pick a fight.
So one of the winged kobolds flies down, lands next to where you dropped the gold, looks at the gold, kind of he picks him up, he bites one, kind of, to check that it's real. He collects your 5 gold, and he yells out, "They have more gold! They have gold! They have more!" And he decides to attack you.
You paid 5 gold to get attacked.
Oh, but a 15's gonna miss you.
So, you taking gold out and putting it on the ground is an entire action, but him coming down, grabbing gold and biting into it, and then he gets to attack? I think that's his way. No, I'm just...
Well, let's say he has multi-attack. He can grab gold. And okay, so because this kobold is next to you, his friend is up, and his friend has a slick mustache with points, and this appears to be the leader. He probably has harder attack and more hit points. Kind of look at him. He jumps on this rock, and he says, "Now that we know you have gold, you must all die."
Thanks, Gregory.
He's going to employ his pack tactics, and he's going to throw a rock with advantage now at Gregory. Oh no! He
What was the
pelts you.
shake? Did you do
Gets
that?
That's one of my new extensions.
Oh,
Gregory, he pelts you right between the eyes with a big, jagged rock. 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
so he got pack tactic because he has a friend standing next to
Yes.
Gregory? Okay. Just verifying.
Khalil's like he just does a backflip off one of these camels. You wretched beasts! And he walks over to this kobold over here, takes out his scimitar and slices it. Oh, but Khalil misses. He shouldn't have done that backflip. He's trying to be fancy.
Lil, dang you.
And then one more kobold flies from left to right, from right to left, so from here to here. Does a little flyby and drops, goes into an area where we can't see him, and he's going to use pack tactics to throw another rock at Khalil. Ooh! He crits Khalil.
Me.
Oh, that's...
You
Ouch.
should know how to throw some stones.
Only if we get TPK'd by a bunch of kobold bandits.
We're getting stoned, guys. And not in a good way.
Olaf, you're up.
Uh,
So there's 3 kobolds just flying from cover to cover.
we don't know if they're the same ones, but right.
You can't. Yeah, you don't know, but from their positioning, you assume there's 3 of them. And then there's one. He's the kobold leader, and he's just sitting there, screaming. And then there's that one that landed. That has Gregory's 5 gold.
Olaf, trying to take this kind of serious, he is going to send out some sickening radiance, right? Avoiding Khalil, overall, the leader and everything. So,
And hopefully maybe the other guy too.
If you send it in that position, I'll give you 2 kobolds: the wing kobold with the short lip hair, and the wing kobold with the slick mustachio.
short lip hair. Right.
And a slick mustache. The other one will.
Did you make up these names?
No, they're auto populated.
That's funny. Short lip hair.
Just
The one with the short lip hair has less hit points than usual, because he's kind of disfigured.
failure. Roll.
You kill them both.
Whoa! You the man.
He just yell out, "That's gonna happen to the rest of you guys if you keep this up." And then pass my turn.
All right, wing a kobold up there, seeing that his friends just got killed, kind of lands over here. He's going to try to stealth. So I'm going to roll a. Where is this? He does have proficiency in it.
You trying to what
So-
dispel?
Stealth. He's trying to sneak.
Does Olaf's does your effect still affect anybody that goes in it now, or?
Oh yeah, it stays up in
Oh, Olaf, I need you to roll a perception.
a perception. Sure. Skill. Perception. I'm in the tower or outside the tower.
It doesn't matter. All right, you don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Gray, you're up. You don't
Okay,
see
well-
any enemies. They just one of them just got melted.
Well, I see the winged kobold that's in front of me,
Oh yes.
so I'll take a shot at him. Well, let me move my hunter's mark since I think the one I had on died, didn't he?
Technically, they're still alive. Sorry. Radiance happens on the beginning of their turn, not when I do it to them.
Well, I'm going to move it to that kobold anyway, so we'll try to get rid of him since he's attacking my buddy, and since he stole my buddy's money. Let's see, I'm going to just go ahead and add the swarm this time so I don't forget. Oh,
One shot, one kill on that one.
so actually I can't see anybody to take a second shot at. Is that correct?
Nope.
Can I probably can't ready an action with that second shot, can I?
No, in order to ready, you have to ready the whole action. So if you took a shot, you already took the action.
I don't think there's anything more I can do. Nope. Okay, then I'll just pass my turn.
Gregory, no enemies to be seen. Don't ignore that thing down there. Hold on, I'll just make it visible.
All right. So I'll just shout in Draconic. All right, if there are any more of you left, you just saw what happened to your friends, so you get two choices. You can either leave us alone and let us pass through. Just take the gold that I offered you and be content with that, and let bygones be bygones, or you can share the same fate as your friends. And I say all this in Draconic. And my turn.
You can ready something. You haven't took an action.
Yeah, I could ready an action. Yeah, I'll ready a magic missile to cast at whoever. If any of them attack again, I'll ready a magic missile.
All right, Khalil. He readies a crossbow. Same condition. If anything else attacks, he's going to shoot with a crossbow. So the kobold, this one with the torn scarf, flies down, and he screams. He lands like a little bit. He kind of hovers in the air, beating his wings. He says, "You are mighty. You are strong. You have killed all my compatriots. It appears that we are no match for you. Oh no, we must flee, 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 flee." And you see him fly away. Do you want to still attack him?
Gregor, you got action ready.
Yeah, your actions are ready, so you may still attack him, and Khalil will follow suit if you attack him.
Now, does he sound like he's like kind of hamming it, like, oh, like
he stole your money, man?
You can roll an insight.
Technically, the one that took his money is dead on the ground.
Yeah, the one that took your money, you've already killed. This is a different one. He just flies over and he says, "You're clearly too much of a match for us. We are fleeing."
I'm gonna go back and get my friends.
You think he's lying?
I'll peg him with a magic missile then.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna target him. Wait. And say, yeah, you need to work on your bullshitting skills. How much target him?
BS +1.
Okay. Okay, and the wind kobold with the torn scarf. I have him targeted, and magic missile.
Whack. He falls down in a splat, thus ending this combat. You guys kind of look around at all the dead kobold bodies. Olaf, you start feeling around your pack. Where's your gold pouch? Look at your inventory. Olaf, your gold pouch is gone.
Guys, my gold is gone.
How'd that happen?
You had like over 600 gold pieces in there.
Looking around, I'll be...
Can we search the bodies?
You search all the kobold bodies that you've defeated. There's no gold on them.
Pick up the 5 gold pieces that I dropped, and I give them to Olaf, and I say, well, it looks like you're going to need these more than I do.
It's no consolation. Olaf just he was robbed over 600 gold pieces by that one kobold that stealthed around.
I've been looking around on the ground for footprints or whatever.
You see some footprints that end abruptly because the kobold flew away. The footprints appear to have while this kobold was talking smack and distracting you, that other kobold that successfully stealthed against you snuck around, grabbed your pouch, and flew off.
Dirty bird.
Are you and you know you
Children,
swear from
they need that money.
you swear probably from miles away you can hear it cackling.
I have a favorite enemy.
Remember that was I'll show you on the combat tracker. That kobold had a torn scarf, and I have recorded how much gold you have. It was over 600. That's the kobold. It's a kobold with a torn scarf. Just so you remember.
Kobold with a torn scarf.
That's the one that robbed you.
Let's see.
Wonder if Cleo knows where there might be a cobalt nest. We could like head there after we make it to the mountain and see if we can get your money back, Olaf.
Says, well, if you're looking for the kobolds, they typically hang out. They hang out in a nest next to the dragon. That's where they want to be.
Well, we're heading in that direction anyway, so maybe we can repay them.
Yes, I'm sure. I don't doubt that you will see him again.
Now, do these kobolds, Gregory asks Khalil, do these kobolds work for or with the dragon?
I don't think anybody works with the dragon. He's too crazy. And
Yeah, I think the dragon's. I think he's like a couple cards less a deck or something like that.
But kobolds, they are naturally drawn to dragon kind. Anytime you see a dragon, you will see kobolds congregating. They worship dragons often.
Alright, well.
So if we slay this dragon, would the kobolds leave these parts?
Perhaps.
But we need to get the 600 gold back before they do.
Yeah.
Correct.
Get all
Olaf, taking this in and frustrated, will get up on the camel and be like, I will find that kobold. He's taking food out of children's mouths. Unacceptable.
Acceptable.
He says, if we are going to the nest of the dragon, I am sure that kobold will be around.
Was that John? You broke up.
He says, if we are going to the nest of the dragon, I am sure that kobold and his tribe will be around.
We'll get your money back, Olaf.
Let's get going then.
All right. How many hexes are we traveling this time? It's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes to get to the base of the mountain.
Well, it's like 10 minutes till, so why don't we take one more hunk of travel and then we can come back.
Three hexes?
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
See any more kobolds?
Unfortunately, no more kobolds here. I do need a survival roll. You're almost at the base of the mountain.
Can you give me?
We'll end after this. Survival roll. Just roll a d20.
Give me guidance, buddy.
And
Every little bit helps.
yep. Okay, then so not guiding bolt.
No, don't give me a guiding bolt. Alright, it's on there. Oh.
Okay, that should be perfectly good. You guys are in the clear for that roll.
Yeah, I didn't get the guidance extra, but I don't think I really needed it.
You keep on rolling just on the d20. You're not rolling like off the check. I mean the skills.
Well.
Yeah, I know. He's been rolling a d20. I've been just adding.
That's because I dropped the table again and.